Welcome to the Anime Podcast. My name is Benji.
Dom Lou.
Philmatic.
KKZ.
And today we have a very incredibly special guest on the GeekJack Podcast, introducing the man himself, Hajime Isayama. Yeah, let's go.
Yes, sir. Isayama Sensei, you know, much respect, much love.
Much love.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Ano Isayama Sensei. Giki desu ka?
Nah, but on a serious note. Hold up. What do you say? What do you say?
Nah, I think your audio went out, Sensei.
The audio good.
Whoa, this ain't Sensei.
You speak English?
They talking about motherland English too, boy.
Nah, but we have a very incredibly special guest today on the podcast. Big shout out to our boy. I mean, he goes by multiple names, you know, multiple AKAs, but we're gonna call him WhiskeyJack. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you for coming, man.
Thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah,
Been a long time coming.
My bad, bro. Can't even hear you over all this applause.
Hey, my bad. But so like I said, very special guest today. But we want to go ahead and give you the opportunity to kind of introduce yourself. If you want me to, I can pretext a couple of things. But if you want to just go ahead and kind of introduce yourself, you can go ahead if you want.
I mean, there's not too much to say. It's the guy who wrote about Attack on Titan a little bit too much.
I mean, personally for us, I mean, as far as like people that because I mean, for the past couple of years, like whenever you did post anything, whether it be a theory or things of that nature, like you were one of the first accounts that I was looking to personally to kind of look for like certain insight on just the manga and like stuff that was going on during the very extended season 4 of Attack on Titan.
Very extended.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, like especially with everything, bro. Like, you're like, you know, you have to be modest, man. You be out here in these streets,
you know,
my boy.
Let me add, bro. I forgot I pulled my shit up. I forgot you wanted me to have it down. But man, this dude here. Oh yeah. Couldn't pause that. But this dude here, man. My boy joined Twitter, had like 3 followers type shit. I was number 3.
Yeah.
A year later, this boy pushing 30K, some shit. Crazy days, man. My boy, he a real vagabond man, though. Don't let the AOT shit fool you up, man. Vagabond still up there. We still in there. And that's how me and my boy got close. For those of y'all who don't know the name WhiskeyJack, you might be familiar with the name Cactus Shash. And that's who we have today on the podcast.
Yes, sir. But you know, we do want to kind of let you get the floor to kind of introduce yourself a little bit more. So we had one question for you in particular. What was your introduction to anime and manga, or just like basically just like Japanese media in some degree itself?
It was probably similar to most people. Like when I was a kid, I watched Naruto. I just know some guys in my school were watching it. I saw a couple episodes of them. I was like, oh shit, this looks lit. And no, I watched that, and then I didn't watch anything for years and years and years after that ended. Not even when it ended. Like when it got to all of them fillers in the last arc, I must have dropped off at that point. I was
exactly that point.
9, 10.
Sasuke and Naruto got murked, and then it was just like
in the Infinite Tsukiyomi stuff. Bro. So I stopped watching all anime about then, and then COVID times, I kicked back in, and Attack on Titan was like the normal. So it was like Death Note, Hunter x Hunter. Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan, and that was the first manga I read properly as well. AOT.
Oh wow. Okay. So that's interesting because like, especially like your perspective. I think have you had how can I put this? Like you don't necessarily have other kind of things that kind of reference how you should view how a manga should be. I feel like having AOT at the top of it and being so
like AOT was the first one. So when I first read it, there was no frame of reference. There was nothing. There was no faults. There was pure vibes. That was it. I was like, this shit's fun. Like talked about it with a friend. That was about it. There was nothing else. And then obviously at this point, I've probably read almost 300 manga and watched a similar amount of anime. Not that many, like 150 maybe. So now I do have a frame of reference. Now I can see how he did certain things compared to other manga or other anime. But no, at the time it was straight vibes. I had no thoughts.
So Tom, we talking 300 manga, 150 anime. We're assuming some overlap. So maybe like 350 series in the last 2.5, 3 years type shit.
Yeah. Like last way, when you put it like that, it sounds a bit mad. But yeah,
Nah, my man was on the
All-star
grind, boy.
number, all-star numbers,
My boy said, damn, I gotta catch back up.
I got deep into that. I got deep into my bag, bro.
Nah, man.
I was grinding.
This shit's cool. Man, I think I might have some envy in how you were able to approach a lot of these series from a mature standpoint. Like, you got to experience a lot of this shit as an adult. Versus for us, like, we all watched Attack on Titan when that bitch came out. Like that shit dropped. So it was like, we was kids, and you see, and I guess your kind of development with it is, it's more, not to say, well, I guess it's kind of linear, but it's also more intimate. Like, you got to see everything happen kind of back to back to back up until, season 4.
Yeah. When I caught up,
yeah,
in the anime, it was the first 3 seasons. So season 4 hadn't dropped by then.
Yeah.
So that's when I caught up to it. It was like just binged the first 3 seasons straight. I was like, oh my days, this is the best TV show I've ever watched. I want to start reading manga as well. And so I read the manga. I think it was up to like chapter 136 at the time, 135.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was something like that. Yeah, but so it was a lot more direct and all in one go.
Yeah, because I feel like, with
But
us.
then those last 4 months were bad.
Yeah, she got critical.
Shit.
We gonna get into that. She got critical. But I think with us, like, that first season drop, and sure, it was cool, but this is coming from Naruto is just ending, around that time. Well, no, Naruto was coming. It's in the war arc, right? Because that Attack on Titan anime dropped 2012.
Yeah.
Like, it was like
2012, freshman year. Yeah.
Yeah. So like Naruto is on its way out. All the other shits that we grew up on is kind of on their way out. And Attack on Titan is that first series that niggas is like, oh, this is next, and it's better than everything you ever watched. So we was all like, man, fuck that. This nigga not better than Naruto. Crybaby ass Aaron. You know what I'm saying,
bro? Nah.
That it was different for you.
For me, bro, when I watched Attack on Titan, it was like my first introduction to like some brutal like graphic stuff like that. And it was like, bro, I'll never forget, bro. I was in my parents' family room, bro. It was like 8 o'clock. I started, and I didn't stop. Like, I literally watched episode 1 to like 24 in that one setting, and I was like, damn.
Oh, so you wasn't watching that shit weekly?
Nah, I binged it in one setting, or the first season.
And so then, you wasn't really in the trenches like the rest of us.
Nah.
When that shit was on, I think it was on Toonami.
It was on Netflix.
That shit was on Toonami.
So it was on Toonami.
That's how I started it.
Yeah, it was on Toonami, and then I knew about the hype, but actually I remember always talking about this, but it actually took me 3 times to watch the first episode.
I'm telling you, bro, shit was kind of mid to me.
Yeah, nah, like at first I was like, I'm cool, especially when the Colossal Titan first showed up. I was like, eh.
Nah, he was hard. I think the intro was kind of hard, but it was like the whole, okay, this nigga mom ain't like, all right, bro.
Well, it was
this nigga Naruto ain't have his mom.
Yeah. It was new to me just because, like, kind of similar how you said, like, that was your first, like I guess gory shit.
Yeah.
By that time, for me, I wasn't like Berserk stan yet. I was actually like hell of a Hellsing fan at that time. But like, I remember I had a substitute Spanish teacher, a permanent sub, and he was like, yo, he's like, I saw you was like looking at anime and showing your phone. He was like, you peeped this? And I was like, nah. And I remember he gave me a whole SD card. It was like
a substitute Spanish teacher?
Yeah.
Nah, CMS got to get him up out of here, son.
He was like, you got an SD?
He kind of real, bro.
I brought an SD card to him. He put like the first season of Attack on Titan on, Stardust Crusaders on there, and Phantom what? JoJo's Part?
Phantom Blood?
Yeah, Phantom Blood. Yeah, Phantom Blood.
Actually, I think that's kind of a good segue though, because we want to kind of figure out, like, especially like we know that you read like over 300 manga, and watched a good handful of anime. I want to know what are like if you had to give like your top three series as far as anime and manga go, what would they be?
So that's actually I've got a different one for each medium though. So my top 3 anime would look really different to my top 3 manga, even if there's overlap.
in the series. So like, for example, Attack on Titan is my favorite manga, but it's not. I don't think it's like top 5 anime for me.
Oh wow,
I
interesting.
don't know if that makes sense.
Because it's different for me.
Yeah, I'm like the opposite.
Yeah, exactly opposite.
Yeah, that is interesting.
You know, I can see why. I could see why, but just in terms of my tastes,
Yeah.
I've got like specific things. So like manga, it will be obviously Attack on Titan, Vagabond, and probably Nana or Frisia.
Nana, I love it.
No. Okay, blah.
Yo, facts. Matter of fact, WhiskeyJack put me on Nana, bro. That shit was so fucked, bro.
I remember that.
You're the reason
I remember when you read that as well.
depressed.
Bro,
Reading.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I just never forget, bro. I think I was in I think it was like, cause it's 21 volumes in Nana, right?
Yeah.
I think I was in volume 19 at, where shit get critical, the black page, all that. I think I was in the barbershop on in university, bro. You know the ones, it be a lot of thugs out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the corner like trying to read Nana. Nigga, I start my car. You know what I'm saying? This dude's walking by, guns on their hip and shit. You know what I'm saying? Smoking out. I'm over here. I take shots. I was like, bro, I'm over here about to cry.
No, I had a similar story with Nana because.
Go ahead, bro. That's what I was about to say.
I was I must have been with like work colleagues when I was reading volume like 20 and 21, and we were on the way, on like a coach type thing on the way to the airport, and then bro, I had to put like my jacket over my face as I was reading this shit because. Bro, the way I started crying, I was like, no, this can't be happening.
Bro,
I was so shocked as well myself.
Bro, I just remember I hit you and you was like, bro, this shit just happened to me. I was on the back of the coach, I was in the back of the bus about to cry.
I remember being in my car at work, bro, reading that shit, texting Taj like, bro, what the fuck, bro?
That should have do it to you, boy.
Hey Phil, we gotta tap in, bro. I'm trying to be in my.
Y'all
Phil's
niggas
time.
will never tap in.
Y'all niggas will never tap in, bro.
And I'm trying to be straight, bro. I want to cry, bro.
Nah, bro. But I think, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say on that. But I still stand by it, boy. Go ahead, find you a little shorty.
Get your heart broke.
Get your heart
nigga.
cracked.
Boom.
Get your little heart cracked and go read.
Get your
that
heart
shit.
broke. Yeah.
Boy, because I read it fresh out of a breakup, son. Shit.
Bro, I
healed me,
remember,
bro.
that's why I told you to read it.
Yeah. I hear shots. I was like, bro, I'm healed now. Like, bro, the experience is so cathartic. Like, everything you're about to experience, you kind of just go through it and you're like, all right, well, I think I've worked through my emotions.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Nana made me a tough nigga, bro. Like, yo, I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Nana made me be like, that's cool. Do what you gotta do. like, bro, you can throw anything at me, bro, and I'm gonna sit there like, hey.
Nah, bro, I was a Nobu stan, bro. So I was in there like, yo, just tell me anything.
Tell me anything. Tell me anything.
You were in the
gripping the
dumps.
sheets.
I was in the dumps, boy. Yo, chill. But oh, go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, is there any other series? I know you mentioned Nana, Vagabond. I'm still, I still got to get my journey on with Vagabond. Is there any other series that you may have like or favorite to yourself?
I don't know if you've read. There's Frisia.
Yeah.
There's I really fuck with Shamo, Real, Guy.
I still gotta get on.
Wait. So what's your top
Ashita no
five?
Joe's pretty cool. And you man read the Climber, right?
I've heard
I
about
have
it.
friends that read that. They said
That's on my to be read, but I have not touched it. I've been in a
Yeah, and
slice
that's
of
it
life.
for like my favorite.
So what's your anime then?
You're in your slice of life phase.
Man, yeah, bro. We're reading this shit.
yeah,
March comes
that's
in.
what
My
we're doing
anime-
right now. I'll put it a little closer for him.
I ain't know where this
But anime list is
If you could.
my anime list is very different.
What's your anime top five?
It will be most of them are movies though.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if any of you man have watched Angel's Egg.
Angels.
Then
I heard
Ava.
about that. Ava.
Like Evangelion.
Yeah.
Like
the
all of them,
end
or
of the
like-
Ava movie.
Like all Avas.
The movie, like end of Ava.
The end of
The
it.
movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Like
Yeah, I love that.
one. And then there's Showa and Roku Rakugo Shinju. That's a series.
Oh, yeah.
That's real good.
I actually started
That's
that shit.
slower.
I started rewatching that shit the other day. Episode 1.
Bro, like I can't lie. I told my brother to watch that
Yeah.
because I knew this guy would hate it. But he was like, "Oh, bro, like I'm gonna actually like some of your series. Like, just let me watch one of them." He watched the shit. He said it was the worst thing he's ever seen. I said all right.
Bro, that was like go-go anime,
And then-
kiss anime days for me. I found that shit on a random. I seen the cover and I was like, oh, that's hard. And I like Rakugo, so let's go see what this shit hitting on. Tore me up, boy. But go ahead. What else you got?
What else do I have? Tasumi Galaxy, Madoka Magica,
Okay.
the movie,
Okay.
Rebellion, slaps. It slaps. And then the rest of the stuff is just like, I just enjoy a lot of it, but none of them are real like high favorites compared to like books, for example. I'm into books.
Okay, but I think that's really interesting, especially like. Oh, what? I'm sorry.
No, you talk. I wasn't gonna say anything.
Oh no, I think especially like a lot of those like movies. I think the thing that's kind of surprising is AOT isn't there. Is there a specific reason? By any chance, or just like just you like the actual physical media?
Just I think when I really like something as a high favorite, it will be something that uses its medium very specifically. I think so. Like Angel's Egg, the movies Ava, it uses the anime medium in a way that I don't think the anime for Attack on Titan always does. Like I thought season 1 was very good in terms of visually. Season 2 was really good visually as well. But then like season 3 part 1 has like problems with adaptation. I don't think it's as good as the manga in that regard. Season 3 part 2, I think it has its problems in adaptation. It's got some amazing scenes, but it's got like some problems that you can see in terms of how it was scheduled and things like that. Season 4 part 1 obviously had issues, and that was like a big thing at the time. Season 4 part 2 I think looks really good, but at that point I think Isayama's art got to the point where I just prefer basically everything in the manga, which is a hot take. Like a lot of people don't think the same as me, and I get why.
Nah,
it's just
bro,
how I
I
personally
don't think
found
that's
it.
very hot over here because and this might be a hot take, but we discussed it and we was like, that shit probably should have just stayed with Wit.
Yeah.
Season 3, my favorite season.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, because honestly, and it just comes down to those flashback scenes in season 4 for me personally. Like I be looking at Armin like, bro, that's not Armin. That's
No,
all.
bro, that's me looking at Owen, bro.
Oh yeah,
Irwin?
Yeah, Irwin
yo,
did look good.
That's not-
Irwin in the final episode, I was like, yeah, that's not him. I respect
that was like,
it,
that's
though.
not him, bro.
I love him though. I love it. And respect it. But the thing is, Mappa didn't get much of a chance to work with Irwin because he was out of there.
He was out. He was gone by
He was
then.
gone by
They
then.
picked up right when he left.
Facts.
The only one that they touched was
And
Flock.
also to be fair to Mappa, I think like they had a much harder job than Wit in terms of what they had to animate.
Yeah, no,
Like I
yeah,
couldn't
for sure.
imagine the final scene or like the rumbling with that hit CGI that Wit put on fucking Butthole. I could not imagine it. Like I think that would look terrible. So I think it was like just a real hard thing to animate in the first place. I just think it slapped in the manga in a way that, cool, some scenes are better than the anime, but as a whole, I would take the package of the manga instead.
Oof.
Okay,
That sound like a. That sound like a team manga.
It's a hot though, like
Hey, relax.
Nah, that just sounded very team manga to me. Like that sounded very. Did that not sound team manga to you guys?
Very
I mean, it did, and well, I mean,
we didn't even have to ask the question.
Yeah, we got it.
we didn't even get to the question.
It just came out, but that's how it is when you really team manga, down to the ground type shit.
we had a question that we will ask you a little bit later, Sash, about team manga or team anime. I think we already know where you lead it
but
to.
look, it might be different.
okay.
But as far as Attack on Titan, we know team manga won. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Okay, but
but to be fair, if I was answering that question, like
Don't
team
answer
manga,
that. Stop, bro. Look,
we have we're lucky enough to be able to take the best parts.
okay,
I can take the best scenes from the anime and slap it on top of the manga, and I'm lucky enough to be able to do that.
okay,
Because the anime does slap when it slaps.
okay, but
I'll take a mix of it.
okay, but I think, and also we want to kind of slide into a couple more questions. So as far as everyone within Attack on Titan, I wanted to get at least your top 3 characters for like the series itself, and then if you want to, you can kind of get into a little bit of description of why you think those characters are your favorite, and then also if you don't mind, maybe giving your favorite arcs and favorite moments in general for Attack on Titan.
Sure. First, before I do the top 3 characters, can we go around the room first? I want to hear you, man.
Oh, of course.
I want to see what we're going for.
Okay, but so I guess I'll start first. So my favorite 3 characters, and this might give you a little bit of a glimpse of how I perceive the story. For one, huge fan of Armin. I think Armin is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I would say Erwin. Erwin is one of my favorite characters, and then lastly, of course, not last but not least, my boy Levi. I would say those are my top three favorite
That's
characters.
kind of unexpected.
Yeah. So that's me personally though. But I wanted to see what about you, Phil?
No, I get it.
Me, I would say Armin is my favorite character for sure in the series. And then I kind of rock with Gene. I'm not gonna cap. Like he's kind of cool.
That's interesting. I didn't think.
Bro, he's just like a relatable ass dude, bro. Like he's just like, bro, like he's cool.
Yeah.
And then that third spot, man, I gotta give it to Aaron, bro. I'm not even gonna cap. I do gotta give it to Aaron. But yeah, that's my top 3.
Also, shout out to Hanji, by the way. I forgot the name.
Love it.
All right, shout out Hans.
You got to do an honorable mention. Who your honorable mention, Phil?
Probably Erwin.
Urban. Okay.
And then probably like I fuck with Ymir.
I was about to. Yeah.
like,
Oh, you talking about OG Ymir?
Yeah, the
You
OG.
talking about? She read that can and said, "Oh, hold
She
on."
was like, oh, shit.
She's oh shit, niggas.
Yeah. Oh, and Sasha, bro. I can't even like. I fuck with Sasha.
Sasha.
She
Oh, yeah,
cool.
bro.
Sasha, for sure.
What about you, Josh?
Man, I mean, this is kind of very unfair to ask. This is a loaded cast, but I think number one, my favorite is Pastor Nick.
Okay. Oh, wow. That is interesting indeed.
You know, very resolute, devout, reverend guy. You know, a lot to admire there. He was ready to get dropped off the wall. He said, "Do it, nigga. My faith good."
He was standing on business,
He
bro.
was standing on
Got
10,
respect.
man.
Toes.
But nah, fuck Pastor Nick for real. For real. I feel like it's just I can't say it's not Aaron and Armin type shit.
Yeah.
Aaron and Armin are my I don't. You can put them in either order. I think this anime endings especially really pushed Armin a lot higher than I had him.
Yeah, I'd agree. I would have said that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, because he damn near number one for me now, bro. Like goodness gracious,
He was good in that episode.
I can't believe it. And then I'll say
Yeah.
third, I don't know. Sometimes it's Mikasa, but oftentimes it's not. Oftentimes it is Annie. And I really I just love
Annie's
Annie,
cool,
bro.
bro.
Like her early like season 1, early AOT dialogue was so it just had so much in that. I don't know. AOT is one of those stories that you gotta loop back and loop back and loop back.
Every time you loop back, you see something different,
something
and you be
different.
like,
Yeah.
damn, like
It's like the Wire type shit.
right,
You watch
yes,
the Wire
right.
the second time, you're like, damn, bro, this nigga was really.
bro.
So Annie, really?
Bro, why the fuck she know what an Okapi was?
Bro.
She's
true.
she's too funny to me, man. She's like when they was like, yo, Annie's gonna be free. She over there eating pie. She was right next to them. Like she's just always been a very funny ass character, and she's an ass kicker. And her Titan is, I feel like, underrated
Oh
personally.
yeah, facts.
Okay. Continue. So your turn, Nick.
All right, mine is about to be weird, but okay. 1, I definitely put Aaron. 2, I gotta go Armin. All right, 3, I can't necessarily. I'm attached to like certain to the characters themselves, but I like the dynamics of the characters. So, one dynamic would be Mikasa, and then the second one would be Reiner. Even Reiner's a
Reiner,
bitch.
okay.
He a bitch, but-
Yeah.
Reiner kind of hard though. I started fucking with Reiner a
it's
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
like
the-
season 4 type shit.
Yeah,
So
so
shit really went up.
like
I'll
I
say the
love
same.
so with Mikasa, the thing for me was like her confliction like throughout, like once she kind of came into understanding about like the Ackerman within herself, like that was when her confliction to me started, and I like that dynamic with her. And then with Reiner, it was his confliction post Paradis that he had to deal with, and I like the way that he had to get through that shit. That shit was rough. And
I don't know,
but
bro.
like
I
he
feel like that was
hard.
pre, post, and during.
I mean,
That boy was conflicted the
the whole
entire
time.
time.
Yeah.
He ain't had peace at all.
Once they
in his
found
life.
out, he was like, oh, him and Burho was like, them niggas looked at each other.
You talking about when they found out Aaron had the coordinate?
Yeah, he was.
They said, "Oh damn." That's the last nigga to get mentioned, you know.
Nah, I would say for sure, like Reiner, like especially like his character development, like through and through, like throughout the entirety of the series, was something that was like it's crazy. Like, oh man, I want to get. There's so much stuff I want to get into, but we wanted to know what is your
Wait,
hold on. You did your 3, right?
Yeah.
I did
I
my
got an
three.
honorable mention. though.
Oh, I didn't do mine either.
I low key got an honorable mention. I kind of fucked with him, but at the end, I kind of did, but I didn't. But Falco.
The fuck?
Low key.
I ain't
That's
never
so
heard,
random.
I ain't
Random
never heard
as
no
hell.
Falco rider, bro.
You said
Nigga riding no
nigga thought I
bird.
said Galliard. Nigga like, nah, I ain't say that nigga. But nah, I thought Falco was cool at the end, towards the end.
I mean, he was dope the whole time, but like he was just kind of like
Hey, I'm still thinking about that scene where
just a little nigga.
hey, please don't scream. My brother, he drank the wine. He said, shit.
Zeke said, "Damn, that shit is real tough, my boy."
Oh yeah, shout out to Zeke. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with Zeke heavy, lucky.
Zeke was funny.
Oh, my honorable mention is Ymir the Founder, though. I love Ymir the Founder. She's probably number 3 for me. And then Annie might be honorable mention. But either way, I like those two.
Okay, I got a couple of things to say about Ymir, but I know we're gonna get into that. But we want to hear who are your top 3 favorite characters in the series, and then you can kind of get into a little bit why those are your favorite characters.
Yeah. So one for me, Aaron. He's my favorite character across every medium, across everything I've come across. Like he's just my favorite ever. He's my favorite of all time.
Oh wow!
And then, so I used to be big on Zeke. I used to be big on like the 3 Jaegers in particular. So like Eren, Zeke, Grisha as a top 3. But after the anime, can't lie, Eren, Armin, Mikasa, bro.
Oh okay.
Then top 3, Eren, Armin, Mikasa.
Okay, bet.
That's probably what I settle on now. But like, I think 3 for me is it could be Mikasa, it could be Zeke, it could be Grisha. I think Levi's really, really good. I think Owen's great. I think it's just got a really strong cast. I really like Founder Ymir as well.
Yo,
Queso.
I got a question. So I remember back in the day, you said you rated all media by how well you could apply it to Attack on Titan. Is that still the case?
That is not the case, but I do be thinking of it. So like, I'll read something, bro, and then I'll go, "Oh shit, this is Eren," or like, I'll go, "Oh shit, this is Armin." So I still do it. I think I'll always do it. I can't see not. But yeah, that shit's funny.
So as far as the Jaegers go, is there a reason that you particularly kind of like? I mean, I know you mentioned Zeke and Grisha. Is there a reason that you kind of like the that kind of dynamic, that family dynamic?
Yeah, I just think how the trio was done with Grisha being this completely different figure to both of them, and how that defined Zeke but didn't define Eren at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the way they were both like, there was like Eren was this product of nature, and then Zeke was this product of nurture, and how that was used to just tie into to the overall arcs of all of them was just really well done. I loved how Grisha, like, you know that trope of the character who dies very early or they die before the story starts, and they're this important figure throughout. I just love how they did that by unveiling the layers every time we got a bit more of Eren, and how interlinked that was with his character. So like, everyone talks about the past moments being so good for so many reasons, and it is. But like, for me, those 3 were at the core of everything that happened there. And Eren being the one to basically motivate Grisha into killing the kids, it tied really beautifully back into the basement reveal. But like, there's this one specific line that Grisha says where he's like, to the owl, where he's like, I'm paraphrasing by the way, it's like, if I'd have known the price of freedom, I wouldn't have paid it. Mm-hmm. And then obviously it's a parallel to Eren knowing the price of freedom and still paying it anyway. So like, little, like, there's a bunch of tiny things like that that's like sprinkled throughout the story that just made me fall in love with them as a trio and as a family dynamic. And Eren as someone who threw away family for like Bonte created. So with Eren, with Armin and Mikasa, for example, I just think it was done so well.
No, I agree. And then I did. There's something I do want to hit on a little bit later on with more questions for as the nurture versus nature. I believe that was something. If you don't already know, I've been tapped in. We've been tapped into a lot of your videos that you watched. I mean that you made. Those were like really, really like in depth things that we really did kind of divulge into. But we wanted to ask, as far as like arcs and moments go, is there anything in particular that you wanted to kind of, basically like anything that sticks out to you that was your favorite as well?
When I first watched, obviously, Return to Shiganshina was just crazy. I just think it's an almost perfect arc.
That shit 10 out
I
of 10.
don't have any flaws with it, and I think I might have a couple more things that I'd question in War for Paradise or The Rumbling, whichever one you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just think War for Paradise / Rumbling is just the more impressive arc overall in terms of what it does and how it does it. So that's still my favorite arc. I understand why people would say Return to Shiganshina, for example, or Marley, something like really tight knit, really focused, short. Everything's touched on, and it's like this wrapped up in a little bow. So I understand that for a lot of people as well. It's just not something I share.
Okay. And any moments that stick out in particular? Like it just
for me, last 3 chapters. Obviously, chapter 131, insane. But for me, like the last 3 chapters, obviously it's controversial, but I think it's just a masterclass.
Yeah.
Like it goes back to the 3 original trio, defines them, wraps a bow around their arcs, and therefore the entire thematic like backbone of the story.
Yeah.
I just think it's brilliant.
And I definitely like, I guess for me, as far as a favorite moment, I think Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin has one of the best title drops in any series ever.
Oh, yeah.
And I think, and I was saying, kind of in alignment with your view of the series being Eren's story told by Armin, but the story being Shingeki no Kyojin, the story of the Attack Titan, the story of Eren. Like I think the final arc really just like you said puts a bow on this story. So I think that's one of my favorite moments as well.
Yeah, but season 3, my favorite season.
Can't nobody hear your ass.
What about you guys? Do you guys have specific?
Yeah, Phil was talking, but couldn't hear his ass.
Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah.
What's your favorite moments?
Yeah, season 3, that's my favorite season, bro, all time, bro. Shit.
Part 1 or part 2? And step on my shits again, you going?
Bro, what's up?
Nah,
bro?
step on my shits again. See what happened.
But nah, part 2, I love part 2, bro. Every time, bro, I be tearing up, bro. That man Armin, bro, he be like, bro, me and Eren, we got this, bro. We gonna take out the Colossal Titan. I was like, damn. And they really did it, bro. Like they really did it. And
Armin really did it, bro.
Bro, yes,
Armin really did it.
And I was like, wow. And then he got burnt up, bro. He got crispy. Bro.
Yeah, he did get crispy.
But bro, that show like, and then.
But can I add something on that?
Yeah.
So I've been seeing, in all these videos and whatnot, how it's just a common message of giving up your dream in order to accomplish something, or in order to something. And that just made me think about how Armin gave up his dream. Like Levi told fucking Erwin to give up on his dream and die.
Yeah.
Armin did the same shit. So that's just another little thing I just realized,
bro,
about their kind of
connection. Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Going off of that, I think the best thing about that is that the most important thing in the end of the story, and even in that arc when it comes to Levi's decision, is the fact that Armin did have a dream beyond like the conflict that they were mired in. So the way it was all done and how that it's not suicide what Armin did there. It's a plan to kill the Colossal Titan. But then when you look back on it from a different perspective and you see him try and do the same thing with Falco by jumping into Connie's mum's mouth, like you see a certain through line that he eventually breaks down when he talks to Zeke and he overcomes it. I just think his arc is so well. Yeah, he's top 2, bro.
Damn, I forgot that nigga was a little bitch. Yo, after that shit, nah, I really forgot. Like season 4, part 1 and 2, every bro, the wind could blow the wrong way, and Armin was like, bro, it's because I'm alive. It should have been early. It's like, yo, nah, nigga, they chose you. They chose like you the one. Like Levi even said, well, you know, to wrap up the whole dream thing, I chose him because he had the same look in his eye that you all did. You know, that whole. And that's a whole other thing,
but I'll say, I mean, so I'll go into my moments really quick. I'll say one of the moments, I mean, I liked, it may be kind of messed up, but like it's the initial, like once we actually see Armin actually use the Colossal Titan in Marley.
Yeah. Oh man, that was tough.
And
that was hard to watch.
You just kind of see his face, and you know that obviously the killing of the, and I think before he even turned into it, he was like, I'm so sorry, or some shit like that. And then like just kind of having that kind of be a reality for him, where he is a product of basically war in a way, like and the fact of the matter is, like I think Armin, and that kind of ties back into like the little final thing where we do see Armin and Eren kind of talking to each other, knowing that they have blood in their hands, like, and basically Armin was like, "Yo, we going to hell together, my boy," like
But I think Armin accepted that shit way early on. After Eren got captured and he had the conversation with Berthold, he said somebody got to be the one to do it.
Bro.
Yeah.
That's that season 1 scene. Whenever like Eren was like all collapsed and shit, like in the building and shit, and he was like, Armin was talking to him. He was like, like,
oh, you talking about right before Annie's fight?
Yeah, before that shit. And he was like, bro, you gotta you're not gonna be able to be anything if you don't sacrifice anything, type shit.
Oh,
you gotta be a monster to become a monster, type shit like that.
But he said something else that was real similar to you gotta be able to give up something.
Yeah,
it was
something. But that shit, that's my 2 favorite scenes. My favorite scenes. Oh, and that shit, bro, when the Levi squad died, bro, I ain't gonna cap.
Oh, Levi Squad is a special moment because that's when Eren learns that he can't trust anyone else. And that shit was so tough.
Yeah. My favorite moment was for both. All right, my favorite moment. This shit hit me crazy when I was reading too, but it also obviously hit in the anime. But it hit so hard that niggas couldn't animate it. But when them niggas said subjects of Ymir. Then we'd start talking to everybody through paths.
Yeah.
Bro, I remember stopping like
that panel.
Whoa.
Everybody
shit just went black.
It was like
everybody looked up like World Treater.
Everybody like, whoa, what the fuck? What the fuck just happened? But like, bro, like that was probably like my favorite moment, just because I felt like it was such a I felt like a few things kind of happened there. And obviously kind of like how Armin kind of explained at one point, like, nah, like, maybe he did that because he wanted us to stop him. But it's like, it was a lot of like coded dialogue within it.
You know what? That's one of my, it's quietly one of my favorite things that goes on within the series. In the very beginning, after, there's the little first time skip from when Reiner and Berthold crack the walls and then the boys meet up with Eren and all that. But, Reiner tells the rest of the 104th class or whatever, he's like, yeah, we was working. They asked, no. How'd that shit go? Well, a random ass nigga come up to them, old dude, and before he kills himself, he tells them that the day the walls broke, he was outside of his cabin or whatever where his wife and kids was, and he heard the feet. He looked up, saw the Titans, and he ran. And then Reiner was like, I've been focused on why he told us that story. Maybe he wanted to be judged. And then that carried over into
that's one of my
thing.
That's so good.
And then it carried over into Eren's thing. Maybe if it was me, I would want to be stopped. So yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? Any other moments? Obviously, Erwin's speech. My soldiers will fight.
I cried, boy.
That was tough.
It's crazy because I feel like the more you realize that there's only one nigga alive to hear that heard that speech, fucking Flock.
Crazy.
Bro, Flock the only one that survived to hear that and live through it. Yo.
And then he went and found that
nigga. He was like, bro, I was about to kill you, bro. Like, I was really about to kill this man. But he was like, nah, like, damn.
Damn. Yo.
What's my boy Mobley? No, not Mobley. Buddy with the bowl cut that was with Annie Crew and decided to come over to the Scouts after John was on his,
I could be.
Oh, he was in the Royal. He was in like the Royal Guard or whatever.
Marlo.
Yeah,
Marlo.
My boy was in the front of that line, like, damn, I could have been home right now.
Yeah, bro. I just think, bro, the scene itself, like reading it was tragic, but bro, when you see that first like rock hit, bro, and that shit just skinned the side of Earth, you like,
oh
yeah, this over with.
He hit him with that choso.
Yeah,
he hit him with that blood meteorite on UG liver. Boy said,
and it was like the commander, keep going.
bro, he always do that shit. When his arm got taken, fine.
I do. Another moment too that I do like though is during Tiber's speech. And it's Aaron and Reiner and Falco in the room. And when Falco realizes he fucked up, it was like... He said, I told him everything.
Wait, I think Reiner was like, you was sending messages? You was sending mail?
Bro. He said, yo, how was you? He was like, hey, how was you sending mail? He was like,
He said that was my buddy.
But I don't know, bro. For that, I mean, I feel like in Attack on Titan, there's a very consistent sort of messaging around guilt and how it weighs on people. Mm-hmm. This nigga Falco ain't feel guilty at all for that.
He was just like,
that shit never comes up again.
Yeah, because the only thing that nigga did after that was scream for Reiner to help.
Hey, bro, that's probably why his ass ran away. He was like, Gabby. He was like, oh shit. Before niggas find out, I called the troops in.
Oh, but there's also one last thing. I did want to. I would say another favorite moment was the perspective of Zeke and Armin in Paths. And basically, you see Armin holding up a leaf, and you see Zeke holding up the baseball. And I think you touched on this in one of your videos. Basically, they both have things where it's not it's reality to them, but both of them aren't wrong in their perspectives of how they see certain things. And that I think that's one of those that, like, to be honest, that may have been one of my favorite moments in that last episode, where just kind of seeing both of them, and then like obviously like afterwards, like the fact that Zeke comes out like ass naked and basically like, hey Levi, what's up, man?
That nigga was shaking that monkey.
He's like,
he was shaking that
Nigga said, yo, you been looking for me?
But honestly, I like the Children of the Forest thing around Zeke and him being a monkey, and then him coming out and seeing a barren land and talking about how beautiful it was.
Yeah.
If only I could seen this sooner.
Damn.
Boy, all right, let's move on.
Let's just get to it.
Okay, so but so we have a couple of very like direct questions that we wanted to kind of ask you about, especially like related to some of your videos that you had. So the first question, or the first thing that's kind of pertaining to, we wanted to kind of get into like the philosophy of Attack on Titan, and certain concepts that we wanted to kind of touch on were. There was three in particular. There was one that you mentioned was the bootstrap paradox that you mentioned in your video, as well as the next one was I think it was monotheism. Basically, like the idea.
Not even monotheism.
It wasn't monotheism.
Because monotheism is kind of present within the series, but I think monism is the real shit.
Okay,
let's just start with the bootstrap paradox.
Okay, yeah. So can you just kind of give us a little bit about the bootstrap paradox, especially? And I know that is that well? Okay, yeah. Well, let me just give you the floor just to kind of answer that question.
Yeah, you might have to make me get up my fucking YouTube script for this, bro. It's been there. The bootstrap paradox is basically what happens when they do all the path stuff. When it's like one event is the cause of another event, which happened to cause the first event. So, so for example, it's what happens when Eren manipulates Grisha to turn and kill the family, and that sets forth all the events that ends up with Eren getting the power to manipulate Grisha to kill the kids and set up that chain of events again. So it's just like an infinite loop. And that obviously ties into Eren's characterization. If you believe in the loop theory, or even if you don't believe in the loop theory, about Eren looping his life over and over again, it's just tying into this idea that Eren is consistently trapped or chained by the things that Eren does, by his drive, by his nature, by his will, whatever you want to call it. It's the things that Eren desires that
go on to trap him, and it does this infinitely, and he can't escape it because of his nature.
Okay.
I think that's the craziest.
So it's just a really cool way to use that.
I think
it's just that's part of why he's my favorite character.
Yeah,
ever,
I think
across everything.
We'll get into Aaron. I think we got to get into Aaron, and I think we want to talk about the loop for sure. But I guess a question is, how does the bootstrap paradox differ, and applicable to Attack on Titan, but how does it differ from retrocausality? Because they're both sort of future events informing past events to let the future event happen. So I mean, both of them kind of have sort of an infinite chicken and the egg loop sort of thing. But how do
I think retrocausality is like a mean of doing the bootstrap paradox is like this encompassing thing.
Okay.
And like the bootstrap paradox can happen by either like means of retrocausality or something else that I can't quite remember right now. But it was just like a method of doing that.
Okay.
A method of creating the bootstrap paradox.
Heard you. And they're all just temporal paradoxes.
Okay, interesting. And that was one of the biggest thing that I didn't like, to be honest. Like I had no idea about the loop theory prior to your videos, but the fact that like the way that you kind of illustrated how things kind of are supposed to be able to play out, like I think that was one of the most that was something that really was like, okay, like I'm fully committed to like the loop theory, especially when it comes to Eren and basically his life, especially those two events between where we begin Attack on Titan and from where we see the end of Eren's life, where basically I think it's like what did Mikasa say?
Life is cool, beautiful.
Or like wait, no, it wasn't Life is Cool. It's like are you awake, Eren, or something, or save? Man, what?
Nigga, do you not know what? Nah, bro. Let me not even get on this. Just see you later, Aaron.
I'll see you later, Aaron. I don't know why.
My boy said, "Are you awake, Aaron?"
Chill.
Yo,
but
can I chime in on that?
Oh, go ahead. Go crazy.
I've always kind of been, because when you read Attack on Titan, the first time I ever like picked up the pages, it begins with "See you later, Aaron." So for that to culminate in 138. It really feeds into the loop theory, so I agree with it.
Like he started out crying and all that.
Yeah,
stuff too, right?
Why the fuck he crying? And Mikasa was doing the same shit, so it makes you feel like there's two realities, existing concurrently, or some weird shit. But I think my question and what I'd like to discuss for the sake of this podcast around the loop is, I think you're specific in your thinking that. I'm sorry, we having some equipment issues over here.
I'm trying to help out.
I think you're specific in your thinking that Eren created the loop, was knowledgeable of the loop. Because I'm thinking that he's just an agent, not even an agent of it, but he's, it just exists because it exists, and he just exists in it. But you're saying that he created it, and I'm curious as to why you believe that.
So for me, I've had a lot of discussions like around the loop idea. I've spoken to a lot of people who like it more as a metaphor than as something like mechanical, and in the mechanics of the series. I've spoken to people who don't believe in it at all. So I've had a lot of discussions around this, and for me, it just makes the most sense that Eren. So obviously, I've got my whole video where I explain it in depth in terms of how it can happen with the mechanics and everything, but just since so many things in the story are a product of Eren's desires, whether they're subconscious desires or whether they're what he consciously understands as what he's doing.
Yeah.
His drives is the platform for the entire series.
Mm-hmm.
And we get that literally through things like the paths things happening. Like he literally does manipulate things to create the events of the story. And so the loop idea is just one further step that I don't think is that much of a reach, especially with how Isayama and his editors have spoken about it being like up to the reader and up for interpretation. So it's really just one further step from what we already have in the story, from all the evidence that we have of the things that he's done.
But
I'm just saying, look, this is just something that happens for Eren.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I think for me, it's kind of like in the end, when he has the conversation with Armin, which actually, I guess it's not the end because it's before the rumbling, but he sees it and everything exists simultaneously.
Yeah.
So whatever. But, he realizes that the rumbling isn't a good option. That is some shit that shouldn't be happening. And part of me is like, okay, does he feed into the loop? Does he create the loop because he wants to maybe atone? Does he know that he's not going to be able to atone? Is his nature not breaking? Is life so valuable that he wants to repeat life? Because were his goals met? You know, some people say yes, the goals that he had as a character were met. Some people say no, that his goals weren't met, and that his life wasn't fulfilling. So I'm just curious as to why. And then part of the loop,
Yeah.
it's like one thing that was very powerful is, and I think it might have been you that said it, but you think about the loop and you think about his look in that final scene when Mikasa, takes his head. That's the last thing he sees, and it's like, how many times has he seen it? How many times is he going to see it? And there's sort of like a sober, numbing look. But the first time he experiences Grisha killing them kids, you know what I'm saying? He sees it like it's the first time. Why the fuck the nigga don't know type shit? He been looping this shit for however long type shit. But I guess I'm curious in what you think his personal motivations are. Do you think it's just consistent with him as a character? Just how he just keeps moving forward kind of thing?
I think, yeah. So I said, I think in the video I brought up how it was potentially like the long dream is this impossible reality that Eren didn't choose, because whether you say he didn't choose it or he can't choose it is kind of beside the point. And when we're talking about free will, but he didn't choose it because that's not the role he was made for in a meta sense. That's not the role the protagonist takes. He can't abandon his role in the story. He can't abandon the story he was created for. But in the same sense, like, it's just not a decision he would have made in terms of his character, and it's not a decision Mikasa would have made at the time for her character. So you have this thing where that is this impossible reality, but it shows a reality where his nurture, so his bonds, his relationship to Mikasa, whatever you want to call it, superseded his nature. And obviously the story is set up, and so many events of the story are set up as a product of that nature. So you can, I think I talked about in the video how the long dream sending it back to himself as a child could have been a way to try and escape this loop that he's in, to try and say, look, we can have a better life than this. We can do something different. We don't have to be bound by everything.
Yeah.
Obviously, that is just one interpretation.
Yeah, but that feels very Eren-like, because, I mean, just the whole, if I get to do this again, I get the chance to not give up again, or I get a chance again.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on breaking this loop. I'm not giving up on self-development, because I kind of looked at it as sort of like a beginning and end type of thing. Like, he wants to experience all this shit over and over. And honestly, bro, I be getting emotional.
And also, that is another thing.
Oh, go ahead.
So I was having another discussion where I said, look, this doesn't necessarily have to be the interpretation. This is just one thing. And that obviously Eren's, the most core probably line of his is the, I was born into this world.
Yeah.
So instead of thinking as I'm going to try and go back and do it differently, it's just this very subconscious drive to live. Yeah. And so he goes back to that point, that day, because that is the day that he wakes up, and that's what the day that everything starts again. That's when Berthold breaks the wall. That's when everything starts. That's when his dad kills the kids.
That is
so
too
he
tough.
Just goes back because he was born into this world, and he wants to be born again, and to live is freedom.
Yeah.
And that is his drive, just to live. And so he goes back and starts that again. And someone brought up how babies cry when they're born, and that could be taken as like part of that idea. So I just think there's a lot of interesting interpretations that surround the loop that are just cool to talk about, even if people don't believe it or if they do believe it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think it's a brilliant. I don't know. I don't know how you don't believe it. Like, not to say that
I just think it makes sense.
I'm saying, like, if you pick up the first chapter of the book, like, it's the only thing that sort of makes sense. And then with the larger sort of bootstrap paradox, overarching everything, how the fuck shit don't loop? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Shit has to start, but then when it starts, it goes to a point, and when you get to that point, that point started something else again. So it's like, obviously it has.
Yeah, it's like you already have infinite loops in the story.
Yeah.
Like you have it with Dina killing his mum. You have it with him doing the stuff in Parbs. Like you have loops in the story. Like even if you say it's like a mechanics thing instead of a literal thing, even though mechanics have to be literal, people just interpret time in a very linear way because that's what we're made to do. Like we view time as we live it. And I think if you can kind of step back from that, you can see how the loop isn't even like that huge of an idea to think about.
Yeah.
Like, this guy his consciousness just goes back. He has the power to do that. We know he has the power to do that. He goes back and it starts again.
Yeah, there's an essay.
And again and again and again and again.
There's an essay somewhere. It's like some old shit. It's called The Tyranny of the Clock, and it discusses how the Western clock has had this influence on how we view time as linear. Because other culture, indigenous cultures somewhere, they view time consistent with cardinal directions. Like if you move north, you move forward. If you move south, you move backwards in time.
That's cool.
Shit. And then everybody's seeing a rival like time being circular and whatnot. So, but it's interesting how this series approaches time.
Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to kind of touch on really quick for the philosophy? Anything that you had in particular, or would you want us to ask the next question?
Me, I'm good. I'm easy with what you guys want.
Okay, cool.
All right, so our next question is a little bit more along the lines, kind of sticking with the characters and their dynamics and parallels. So what are your thoughts on, the character dynamics between Aaron and Armin, Grisha, Faye, Kenny, Uri, and Levi and Erwin?
Oh, that's a good question, because those are all really good. So I think Grisha Faye is used, especially. I don't know if you have in your mind. I don't know if it was in my video the specific parallel when Grisha shows Faye the blimp, and when Aaron in the last chapter takes Armin to see the lava, and like Aaron and Grisha both look at the person they're bringing, and both of those people. So Faye and Armin have like the same expression. Like it's like, wow, it's wonderful, it's all of this. Grisha smiles when he sees that, and Aaron kind of just narrows his eyes because he knows he won't be able to see the same thing, and that's part of why I was talking about the whole Grisha-Aaron dynamic and the Jaegers in general. But I think that was really good. The way Kenny and Yuri also play into the Aaron and Armin dynamic, which I think most things in that series do, in terms of when it comes to Aaron's like drive, like innate drive and what he was doing the rumbling for. It goes back to the Aaron and Armin stuff. So Kenny, Yuri, I don't have the chapter up right now, but Kenny, it was just like, will I ever see the things that you can see? Like, if I become this all-powerful God, will I then become compassionate? Will I be able to see this dream that makes you content, like that makes you happy? Can I see the world in the same way that you do? And that's very much at the core of Aaron and Armin, because he says that the first time I looked into your eyes, I knew I wasn't free. And he turns that into the fact that he's not free because he's trapped by all of these things. And so he makes it an external thing. He's trapped by these walls. He's trapped by these titans. He's trapped by these people. He's trapped by his own desires. He makes it an external thing. And then Armin, it's very much an internal one. It's the look in his eyes. It's the joy he gets from thinking about the world. It's from seeing the world through a different light. And that's why Aaron says he's the one who can save humanity. That's why he can do all of these things that Aaron can't. And that's why Armin is the narrator of the story and not Aaron. So that's really cool. I would link Levi and Erwin a bit more to Aaron and Mikasa, just in how they're used.
Okay. I also want to segue into another question real quick.
Can I stay on this one real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you guys.
It's pretty like linear. It's pretty much like from.
Oh, because this is the same question. I'm just adding.
Okay,
on.
go ahead.
But my thing is, I feel for me, Levi and Erwin, I think in all of these sort of dynamics here, there's this concept, and I'll call it a dream for sake of the conversation. But there's somebody with a dream, and there's somebody who can't see that dream, or can't enjoy that dream, or can't view the dream the same way the other person does. And I think it's the same for Levi and Erwin. And the basement is sort of the goal, the dream, the purpose that Levi is like, with all this shit going on, I'm cool just killing these motherfuckers just to help my boy out type shit. Yeah. But you have a reason behind this, and I want to do this to serve that reason. So I feel like all four.
Yeah, like he believes in that reason. He believes in.
All four of those beliefs, dreams, all four of those dynamics kind of tell the story of Attack on Titan to me. Just if you stack them and you kind of you can compound, what the lessons in each of them. Because Kenny and Uri, I feel like that little part, that's season 2, that's season 3, part 1.
Yeah, part 1.
That shit right there, that's underrated. That's a little underrated shit.
I think that's one of my favorite episodes, Friends.
And shout out to Kenny. Kenny is an underrated character in general. I did want to ask, as far as like kind of harkening back on the relationship between Aaron and Armin. I think you said this, but it was like when Armin is kind of introducing, I believe, what is it, the book, the whatever it is, the concept that Armin, he looked at it as, I want to be able to explore this beyond the walls, as opposed to Aaron being able to be like, why can't I have the freedom to go ahead and look at what is beyond the walls?
And so that basically kind of segues into like the question I was gonna ask also. With you kind of saying that Aaron's battle within their dynamic is a little bit more external. My biggest takeaway from Aaron's character, like throughout it all, is the concept of him being that slave to freedom. But I personally look at that viewpoint as external also. So just as much as it is internal, or it can be internal for him, do you feel like Aaron is a slave to freedom, not only for himself, but for others as well?
Oh, yeah. You said
so by that question, you mean like he becomes.
Wait, hold on. I need to understand the question so I can.
So I'm saying like, so like like I said, like the concept of him, like I said, like him being that slave to freedom and not being able to achieve that. Like I feel like he was also trying to achieve that for others. In the same sense, like for
yeah.
Like for audience, or like just his friends, just
everybody.
Like because I think that's the concept behind the rumbling in itself.
But that's what I'm saying. So
I want to free everybody.
Yeah, so I just wanted to get his take on that.
Okay, I was just my bad.
No, you should.
See what you talking about.
I think that actually gets into a really interesting and maybe controversial topic of conversation about. Because like I think it's quite popular now after the anime, especially, to be like, yeah, Eren, like, you see all those memes about like him sacrificing the world for his friends, and like Itachi sacrificing his friends for the world, or like his family for the world. And I just think Eren is a little more complicated in that, in terms of he did want his friends to be free, he did want them to live long lives, and he did want them to be happy. But I think his conception of freedom was such a personal anger at the world for not, because I think even Isayama said this one time that Eren, it wasn't for Armin, it was about getting to the sea. It was like, the sea exists. I don't know if the sea exists. I want to find it. I want to explore. And for Eren, it was like, the sea obviously exists. They're just not letting me see it. Like, it's my right to see it.
Yeah, he says Armin possessed the curiosity for knowledge and held on to the thought of, I want to see the sea. On the other hand, Eren viewed it as the sea obviously exists, but we don't have the freedom to see it. And he felt indignation towards that.
Indignation. I think that's a really good word. It's like almost this childish lashing out, like, I deserve more than I have. I deserve, and that gets to the point where it's like, I deserve limitless freedom. I need nothing to be able to stop me. So, but in terms of your question, I think he does provide that role of being this person who frees others in a way that he can never be freed by, because of the way he views freedom itself. I said freedom a lot in that.
My boy free.
That's what they want.
It was like Eren and 133.
But
I just kept on saying freedom.
Nah, but I do want to see, especially like when it comes to like Eren and just like his mentality. I think one of the biggest, I think the most powerful scenes was when Eren, obviously I don't think they gave him a name. You know, the little child that he sees.
Ramsey?
Was it Ramsey?
Yeah,
the kid he holds?
Matter of fact, I was so disappointed. It's actually my top one Attack on Titan moment.
Oh, really?
That's up there as
my
well.
shit.
That's definitely.
When he's apologizing to Ramsey,
and he can't understand.
In a language that Ramsey can't understand. And then, because I think it's the point of Eren. It's right before the point. I think his conversation with Mikasa afterwards really confines him to his nature and his reasoning. But I think the loosest he was when I found out humanity existed beyond the walls, or survived beyond the walls. I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
That shit was that page, bro. I was like, this is too much for me.
Yeah. That's raw. It's like real visceral emotion. You can feel it.
Yeah, and that was this is gonna happen. I know I'm gonna kill this kid later, but it's not in my nature to not save him now. And I'm gonna wipe everybody out
and still be me.
but that for me, yeah, and it's also, this is me. I'm gonna kill everybody because I'm disappointed because this is just not the way this shit was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Man, Aaron is this is how this shit's supposed to go, man. I'm supposed to be free. Niggas ain't supposed to be outside these walls, so we gonna go ahead and get y'all boys up out of here.
Yeah. I mean, oh man, like that. Yeah, that was a powerful scene. I'm trying to think. There was oh man, there was something else I want to ask, but I like if it comes back to mind, I'll make sure to go ahead and ask.
Well, you was talking about Ramsey, but that was my bad. I started.
Oh no. Yeah, you touched on some of it. There was something that I wanted to kind of attach to that question, but I can't think of it now. I'll ask it later. Okay. But we did want to ask another question. What was it, Phil?
I can talk. I can
go
ask.
ahead.
I want to move towards the most polarizing ending in all of anime history. Just those final chapters.
Hey, Ava's up there as well.
Ava's up there.
Yeah,
Ava's up
Ava,
there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
As far as bro, yeah. I mean, you know what? Let's not talk about that shit.
I'm gonna cry for real.
What the fuck? We can talk about the first 5 minutes in the Ava, but I turned it on in the living room. Said, "Oh, let me go ahead.
Yeah, let me get up out of
I'm gonna take this to a different room in the house." But I want to talk specifically about Armin. I have a lot I think about Armin as the narrator, but one of the things that you said in the ending is that, and I think the manga influenced me to think this way as well, and I'm speaking without revealing what I'm talking about, so I'm going to stop that and tell you what I'm talking about. But you said that Eren sort of influenced Zeke through a number of things to sacrifice himself at the end. And for me, that's a very sort of complex frame of thought because, and I think in the manga, it was very much, all right, yeah, Eren kind of tossed up Zeke and Zeke is done. The anime changed it for me, one, but two, effectively, killing Zeke is what ends the rumbling. So I guess the larger question is, who do you have as ending the rumbling? Because I don't think it was Eren. I think it was Armin who ended the rumbling.
As in by talking to no, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, by talking to Zeke. Because
if I remember what I said, I think I more meant that Eren did what he kind of does in the framework of the whole story. Like with the question that was just asked about, does he free others? Like he sets the platform for them to do it.
Yeah.
Through their own personality. So like he stands behind Grisha so that he can have that interaction with Zeke at the end of chapter 121, I think it is. Like he lets Zeke get that closure type thing with Grisha, like Grisha apologizes to him and all of that. He lets that happen. Like that is something Eren lets occur. Like he sends Grisha certain memories. He allows with Ymir the fact that Armin talks to Zeke. So like he sets the platform for these things, but they're the ones who have to do it.
So you think that Eren, so you because to me, I feel like that's the one time when, I don't know why I feel like it's Ymir acting on her own to send that Okapi out. First of all, why the fuck is it an Okapi?
I actually agree with this though. I agree with that. I'm saying Eren's a part of that just by not doing anything against it.
Allowing it to happen.
So just being complicit in it by allowing it to happen. So he's still complicit in it.
But I guess a larger question for me,
which is kind of what he does the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, I know he lets things be, and that's kind of it. It is what it is. I mean, even my boy was eavesdropping on him. They was like, "Yo, maybe we could talk to him. He gonna stop. Hey, hold on, y'all. I'm not gonna stop. Y'all gonna have to kill me. You want to stop this?"
But that's kind of what I meant. That's kind of what I meant by him talking to everyone through paths, and it seeming like I want you to stop me.
Because the second time?
Yeah, that second
when he was on a plane?
Yeah, when he goes back and like you say he's eavesdropping and he says like, nah, like y'all gonna have to come stop me.
Yeah, because I think it's because you know at a simultaneous thing because everything is running concurrently. Like he knows what he's doing is wrong, but he's not gonna stop.
Yeah.
He's not gonna stop. Like even if it's kind of like the Ramsey thing again. It's this whole I'm kind of a hypocrite, but this is me, bro. Like I'm doing this. Yeah. If you do want to stop it, you're gonna have to do that a certain way. You're not gonna talk me out of it because you can't talk someone out of something they think is wrong. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like this is not a Pain Naruto situation where Pain thought he was in the right and he thought he was justified in what he was doing. Like this is a man who will hold up his hand and be like, okay, yeah, this is pretty fucked.
but I'm gonna see it.
Fucked up.
He said, "Got to see it through."
But
Got to see it through.
I want to. Well, so that's interesting to me because, especially like, I know people kind of say the reasoning for Aaron to kind of go through the rumbling and things of that nature. He wanted his friends to be basically proclaimed as the heroes of the event after the rumbling. So I wanted to ask, I guess, in particular, as far as that moment, do you think that like like that was like, do you think there was any alternative moment, like motive when it came to Aaron basically going through the actions that he did in order at the end of the series? Because if I think about it right, I think at the end, what happened? They were on the boat, and then I'm trying to think.
That's effectively when Aaron came down and talked to Armin.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were
Okay.
on the boat.
So that happened afterwards, or
No, it happened before. Well, the rumbling happens. Aaron and Armin are on the boat.
okay.
No. Armin and everybody's on the boat.
Okay.
And they're going to the hangar to fix the plane. And that's when Aaron comes in, drops in, then drops back out, takes Armin's memory of it, and like, you're not gonna remember this shit till I die.
Oh, okay. Oh, actually, that brings up another point. I think there was a loop. There was a loop in the last episode where, you know how we see the first scene of the seagull when I think Armin's talking to Annie, and then like later on that comes back into.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
But
that's what
it's not like
that's what
he just inserts that moment. Like that's the moment when he chooses to talk to Armin. I thought that's what you were going towards. My bad.
No. Hold up.
Cross your ass up.
Yeah.
No, but basically, I was trying to say, like, do you think that kind of going back to my point, do you think Aaron's like the way he went about it, that he was definitively trying to make his friends be the heroes of the situation, where he knew he was going to be this terrible person at the end of the series? Oh, I mean, at least to like everyone else, because I mean, he took out 80% of the people in the world. But like,
he's a pretty bad guy.
Yeah. But what do you think about that?
So this is something I've remained pretty steady on. Whereas that, yes, he does want them to be viewed, to have power in the world afterwards, and he has logical precedent for that. Like, this is what happened with the Willie Tiber family. It's just that the Tiber family chose not to do anything because they felt guilt for the Eldian actions of the past. But like, the Tiber family did have power. They just chose not to use it in a way that would have changed anything. That wouldn't be the same for the alliance with Armin, for example. So he has precedent for thinking that. It's something that works, especially with him removing all possibility that these other people can go to war for however many years. So it works, and it's something that makes sense. But for me, it is very much, maybe not very much, but a big part of it is that it's a justification.
Yeah,
it's like
that's how I feel.
I'm doing this, but this is a side effect of the thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But it's something that does work out well for you, and it's probably part of why I chose this, but it's not like it's not the core of it.
Okay.
Like, I didn't do this to make you guys heroes. I did it for all these reasons, but you guys will be heroes because of this.
Okay.
And I think, I guess for me, a lot of my curiosity around Aaron is at what moment does he realize things? Because, I mean, with the story of Attack on Titan, these things always exist. But what moment does he realize it? Because for me, this is akin to, I don't know, like, you doing some stupid ass shit, knowing it's stupid as fuck. I mean, and it's kind of literally what the rumbling is. Stupid ass shit, knowing that it's stupid. But then some shit happened and you like, oh shit, I could split this with my mans. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you come home with, like, you do some stupid shit, or like, you get an extra one and you like, nigga,
I can slide it to my guy.
And then your boy is like, man, you the best. Like, nigga, you know I'm gonna look out for you. Nigga, you had no intent to look out for him. And shit just worked out that way. Like, that's how I feel like. But at what point does he realize, oh shit, nah, we could flip this. Like, y'all the heroes. Yeah. Armin, I'm not. Like, he looking at Armin's side. I like, I'm not that bad, right? Like, I'm a hike, right?
No, because I think, I mean, if you really kind of think about it, I mean, like, everything other than that, I mean, do you think that was probably, like, he thought of that as something where he's like, you know, they can see something out of this. Like, they can see something out of the situation where, like, you know, like, I'm not necessarily doing this for you guys, but I'm doing this in a way that, you know, you guys can still benefit. Like, he's doing something for the people that he said he was going to do it for.
Yeah, I think he.
Yeah.
Even
duality.
Even
my bad. Go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, even though inherently, like, I mean, at the end of the day, like he's still like the people that he wanted to save the most, like people like Hanji, and like
Sasha.
And Sasha, and also like basically kind of like making Levi kind of like out of commission. Like those were side effects, even though he still had the best. I mean, I guess I wouldn't say the best of intentions, but like intentions that were trying to like help like the people he knew the most.
And I think that really proves that this shit was just a side effect.
Yeah,
because I think he was like, I'm one track minded. I'm about to go stomp on everybody. Oh damn! But for me, I'm curious as to because I feel like all that shit clicked at the same time. At what point did he realize Armin can fix this? Armin is the one who will save humanity.
So yeah, with the thing, so I'll go to the first part of that. It's not really a question, but like the first part of the discussion, which is that I think one of his, so he's got like a seesaw of motivations. So he wants personal freedom. He does want the island to have a fighting chance. He wants his friends to live long lives and be happy, and he wants to end the Titan curse. Now, those four desires are contradictory in some sense. He can't have all four of them at the same time. So he can't have full personal freedom without taking away the long lives of his friends or ending the Titan curse, for example. He can't get full freedom for Paradise Island without, again, not letting his friends live long lives. And again, he won't end the Titan curse. There are ways in which the fulfillment of one goal will sacrifice the fulfillment of another. So the end goal, the end result is something that's a balance of all four. So like he does take away the Titan curse. He gets some semblance of personal freedom with his freedom scene. He lets most of his friends live long lives, and he gives Paradise a fighting chance without freeing them entirely in his own mind. So that's one thing. Them being heroes is a side effect of that end result. So he does want them to live long lives, but them being heroes isn't necessarily part of that. That's a side effect. For example, that, and I think with Taj's thing, with Kay's thing, I think there's enough evidence to say that he knew he would die when he kissed Isoria's hands at the ceremony. So he knew he would die at that point. And he knew that there would be an end that had no more Titans because he couldn't see past himself as a Titan holder, or however you want to rationalize it.
Yo, so pause that real
What
quick.
he didn't know was like
So Invaders, I watched his video on YouTube, and he brought something to my attention that I never really thought about. I thought, when he kissed Historia's hand at the medal ceremony, I thought like he opened up all the memories, right? But it's a very confusing thing that he accessed his father's memories of Aaron's memories, his father's memories of his own memories. So you're saying that in that he saw. I'm thinking that he sees the rumbling, but you're saying that he sees the end of his life as well, the end of the rumbling?
I think what he does at that point is realize there is nothing after it. Because if everyone's Attack Titan memories are in some way linked to Eren, so like the same thing would have been with the owl, which he already knew. Like Eren, the owl had Eren's memories, for example. Grisha had there's nothing after Eren. Eren is like the focal point, and he's the one with the founding Titan.
Yes, so that means it's over.
So like Eren, it's a pretty easy. I think it's a pretty easy guess to make that I'm not going to survive this, and the curse doesn't go forward after this point.
Yeah.
So I think those are all things he knew, and there's like certain pieces of dialogue where like he's talking with Armin and Mikasa when they're at the firing range, and he says something, and Armin's like, "Oh, we can talk this out, and we can do all of this, but we need time." And Eren's like, "Yes, but we need to make that time. Like we need to stop them so that we have the time to do this." And I think that is what happens in the ending. I think what he does with Willy Tiber by letting him have a speech and then transforming is something that he does make himself a focal point. So I think he's got pieces of it. And then when he touches Ymir, that is when he gets the entirety of it.
Yeah. See, and I was thinking of it in a more literal sense. I don't know why I took out Aaron's ability to deduce that if you ain't got no more future memories, that means there's no future.
He's pretty stupid. He's pretty stupid.
Nah. My boy be thinking low key. My boy be thinking. But I was thinking like he doesn't see Mikasa before she takes his head. Then.
No. Yeah.
That's the only thing that he ever experiences for himself, kind of thing. So,
yeah.
Okay.
Sure, we're on the next question.
Yeah, we go ahead and do another question.
Got you. So, bro, for this next question, bro, we wanted you to elaborate a little more on compatibilism and why did Aaron initiate the rumbling? Basically, like rejecting the world and buying more time for paradise. We kind of just talked about that. Like,
hey man, I didn't know when I was writing these shit.
yeah,
we just talked.
but
I think the second part is more interesting.
yeah,
Second part of what we put.
Was the ending by Aaron's design or was it by Ymir's? Was it fate or was it free will? And how much freedom does Aaron actually have?
So this is this opens a real rabbit, like it opens a real rabbit hole.
Yeah.
In terms of like how people define free will, how people define the freedom to make choice. And there's no set answer for this. It's kind of just based on what you choose as your perspective. But it is pretty certain, as in what AOT stands for, is that compatibilism is a part of this. So compatibilism is just, it's soft determinism, which is like, determinism is true. So like things are set in stone, but we are still morally responsible for our choices because that end result or the things that are set in stone are a result of all of our desires. So we're still morally responsible for that. The fact that these things are set in stone can be the case, and we can still have free will in the sense that we are responsible for that. Then if you take it to like different cultures, I know, for example, like a lot of Buddhists, for example, don't believe in free will as a concept. It's more like free action that they believe in. So they don't believe in the whole, oh, I can choose to eat this pear or eat this banana. Like you'll choose whichever one you like more. So you can say that's free will. You can say it's not. Even if you say, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to eat the apple because someone thinks I'm going to eat the apple because I like it more. I'm going to eat the pear instead. That will be a reaction to however many things have happened in your life that have made you go against what people would say, what people would think. So like you want to prove people wrong, that is a result of things that have happened to you in the past or your genetics or all of these things. So like the concept of free will in itself might not be the way we define it in Western culture, which is very much set on our control over our environment and all of our decisions to give us power that we may not really have when looking at the grand scheme of things. But yeah, AOT is compatibilistic in the sense that obviously Aaron, I think the Ramsey scene is probably the best indicator of that, where it's like, oh, the future's set in stone. After he saves him, he's like, look, the future doesn't change.
Yeah.
And it's, well, like, yeah, but because you couldn't stop yourself from saving the kid.
Yeah.
It's because it was your desire to save that kid no matter what you're going to do in the future, because that's who you are as a person. So yes, the future doesn't change, but that's a result of your desires and who you are as a person and your choices, which you're still morally responsible for, which I think is the most important thing, that you don't take away moral responsibility in a story with so much weight.
Shit get real Clockwork Orangey, man. I'm telling you. But I feel like
I hate that book, by the way.
word?
Clockwork Orange.
Man,
I do not fuck with it.
Come on, Drew. Yo, I couldn't stop speaking in that fucking language after we read that book. But I think a sort of question about fate and free will when it comes to Attack on Titan, and I guess you can say this is clear because it's Aaron's story and it all makes sense for it to be Aaron's story. But, you know, and there's a lot of, I guess, theology and mythology in Attack on Titan, but from a greater sense, because you have Ymir's story that doesn't end until 2,000 years later with Mikasa. Was Aaron's story, obviously it's a part of Ymir's story, but was it for Ymir, or did Ymir exist to serve Aaron's story, or did Aaron exist to serve Ymir's story? But not in the literal, like we know Ymir exists to serve Aaron's story kind of thing, but like if this was all based
I think that's
on
also just reality, a really cool question.
Like who's the real main character here? You know what I'm saying? Because like this is all Ymir set this in stone to have this understanding of love, to be freed from love, to be freed of, you know, subservience and submission. But then it's like you got Aaron, and Aaron's shit is a little more interesting. But you know, I just don't know. I feel like that's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about compatibilism and sort of that determinism within the story. Whose story matters? Like whose story is? I don't know. I'm gonna shut up. I can't. I tried my hardest to talk around it, but I can't. My bad.
No, I think that's a really good. I think that's a really good talking point, to be honest. Because like, from Ymir's perspective, I'm sure her story is the one.
Yeah.
Is the important one. From Erin's perspective, I'm sure Ymir's nothing but a footnote. From Armin's story, I'm pretty sure it's more about Erin than it is about Ymir. From the first king story, it's more about him than Ymir. Like, he's the one who started all of this Eldian race stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's something that's quite true to life in the sense that we can't define our own lives by other people. But if someone was to look at our lives from a separate perspective, they might see, oh, we've actually helped this person more than we've helped our own lives, or like we've helped this person in a way that would make us play a role in their lives, like part of their story, just in the same way they played a part in our stories. And I just think that's like the way people get super focused, like hyper focused on, oh, it's all Ymir's fault, or it's all this and that. I think it's missing a key part of the point of Attack on Titan. And also there's some mechanical stuff that doesn't really make sense with the whole Ymir thing. It's like, she didn't have agency for a long time.
Yeah.
She needed Eren, but not in the sense like she set everything up for Eren to do this. Eren came into her life, and when Eren touched her, that is the moment that all of these possibilities open up for Ymir as well.
Yeah.
So when that connection happens, it's a two-way connection. So then she starts her arc, really. So she paused her arc when she fell into the tree, and that's why in Path she's the same age as that day. Like, she's wearing the same stuff, she's wearing the same outfit. She still hasn't regenerated her tongue. Like, she is that girl from the moment the king said, "You're free, go," and she fell into the tree. She's still that same girl. She hasn't grown mentally at all.
Oh shit.
What Eren does,
and for all the viewers at home, can we talk about the number 13 in relation to all that shit?
Oh yeah, the page 13.
That
was one thing I wanted
That
to
shit
do.
was hard as fuck, bro. I think Ymir's arc is what, 13 pages?
Zeke's was
But-
13.
and I
From
think
the moment.
yeah.
I think you mentioned that that's the only numbered
the
number
page
page
when Eren
in chapter
kisses
1. Yeah.
Mikasa.
Yeah. Okay.
Or was the
I think it was chapter 1. Chapter 1, right?
lying.
It was the see you later one.
No, it was a see you later.
Thank you, bro. I
Yeah.
was like, yo,
'Cause I
some
think-
shit, shit is 13.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But yeah, if you can elaborate on that, because I
yeah.
thought that was really something I was like, oh shit, like what-
Yeah, that's like, oh,
That's crazy. Yeah. In fact,
I think that's just my favorite catch
get
in
that
like
shit.
anything Attack on Titan related. Like, that shit's so cool.
that
What he
shit
did with
is
the
so
pages.
dope.
Yeah, cause I was thinking, I was like, hold up, let me check my. I think I have a volume 1. I probably should have brought it, but let me see.
I was about to be like, hold on, hey, bro. Hey, boy, don't say 13 in this one. This nigga was lying.
Yeah, that was one of those things, and I think that was, you also described it as something where like that was like the end of the loop for the
Yeah. So like, I think it's like if you count the pages in the long dream, and then so every page that Eren and Mikasa are together from when the long dream starts to her cutting off his head, that's 12 pages, and then the 13th page is the only numbered page in the entire manga, which is him waking up at the tree, which I just think is nuts.
That is crazy.
And like, that could be a coincidence, right?
That's some
That could be a
team manga
coincidence
shit.
in him playing with the number 13.
No, but yeah, it's
But then-
crazy.
Ain't no
but then
coincidences
he
on this
does the
team manga
same-
shit, bro.
Hey, relax.
Then
But,
he does the same thing with Ymir, and he does the same thing with Zeke.
Yeah.
And you're like, this can't be a coincidence if he's done it 2 other times.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy.
And then, you know, just kind of like if we discuss compatibilism, how it relates back to Geek Giant podcast, like for us to create team manga, and then for that, and I think Attack on Titan serves team manga. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was created just to push this message out. You know what I'm saying? And that's just another piece of it that really just hammers that point home.
you know what's funny?
beautiful,
Like
man.
Attack on Titan is, I believe everyone's like top 3 anime in this room. As far as like top 3 manga though, is it your top 3 manga, Nick?
Personal, no. Cap. I just cap.
Wait, why'd you that?
Personal, no.
Yo, he tapped him right. Hey, I don't know if you saw that, bro.
He was getting on
He
the
tapped
same
it.
page.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, look.
Hey.
He tapped the leg, nigga. I was thinking mirror.
Hey, they in cahoots. They in cahoots.
Exactly, nigga, team manga.
Team
But
manga.
back to what you was saying though about Ymir, about sort of how this shit really is subjective and how, you know, how that all kind of wires down.
Yeah, like, we all have our own stories, and they'll be perceived by different people in different ways, and to ourselves in different ways. So I just think that's a point that the story is trying to make as well.
Yeah.
In terms of like us having this discussion is like pretty cool because like whose story is it?
It's mine type shit. Everybody like, nah, I'm playing.
Yeah. I'm the one reading this shit. I'm the one writing it for him.
Facts.
Sorry. Go.
No, you sure? Just to kind of like segue with the like what we're talking about at the moment when it comes to Ymir and also kind of talking about Mikasa. I know you kind of mentioned a little bit about Ymir being somewhat of an actress. So could you touch base on that a little bit for us?
I think I spoke on.
Oh, you spoke on that. My fault.
I was thinking, Ymir was just a good, because we talk about Ymir, but I think Mikasa and Ymir, sort of, that story is also the story of Attack on Titan. And I guess I'm curious, because I feel like out of all the Attack on Titan people, I should say, I don't know how to define, I guess, the larger community, people that have influence on people's perceptions of the story. I feel like you're unique in one that you think Eren created the loop, but also on your emphasis of Ymir and her influence over the story. So I just wanted to provide the opportunity for you to speak on that a bit.
Yeah, like I think even with the anime, that's still probably the most contentious point is like, why was Mikasa the one to save Ymir? Why was this such a big part of the finale? Things like that. And for me, at its core, it's just a very beautiful idea of like one girl who was almost defined by her trauma, setting free another girl who couldn't do the same for herself. Like Mikasa worked through her arc on her own, and through that was able to help Ymir to grow from her trauma. So I think that's one of my favorite parts of like the whole thing is that when Eren touches her, her eyes open and you can understand her a bit more. And she's got the same expression as Eren had when he kissed Historia's hand, and Grisha's expression when Eren manipulated him. And it's like this one of rage. It's rage. It's this lashing out against the world, and quite a childish one at that. Like it's like things haven't gone my way. I'm going to kill everything. I'm going to take away everything that can harm me, every type of limiter on me, and I'm going to lash out at the world for what it's done to me because the world is a cruel place. And then when Mikasa does her role, we see Ymir with her eyes open again, but this time she's grown up. Like she's grown from her trauma. She's no longer a child because of the arc that Mikasa went through. Yeah. And I just think that is so poignant. And for me, the lack of explicit information is something I really like. And not everyone likes that. Maybe we could have had a chapter of explaining all the reasons, all the different parallels between Mikasa and Ymir, and how Mikasa serves as her antithesis throughout the story. How, like, for example, Mikasa grows from her fear of Eren's death and then lets go of him in order to carry on her own life. And then Ymir does something similar in realizing that her love for the king wasn't actually love. It was this toxic attachment that she then learned to let go of as well. So there's that theme of letting go. Yeah. There's a theme of Mikasa showing her that love isn't a burden. It's not subservience. Whoa. It's not.
But hold on.
Being told what to do, like
Stockholm syndrome.
Nah, not even that. You know how shit, bro. Like Phil just made me remember that Armin let go of his dream, and our belief. However, we discuss these things. I didn't even realize everybody does that shit in Attack on Titan, son, except for Eren whole ass. This nigga can't let go of shit. But I mean, well, I guess he concedes and he compromises and whatnot. But I didn't realize that Mikasa, lets go of Eren. But Eren is the one thing that she like believes in. That is her one absolute. And Ymir does the same. Yeah. That's so interesting. And I think the 8 pages, like you're talking about the lack of explicit information. Like I'm like, bro, Isayama gave 8 more pages on this shit to kind of clear shit up. You know, I feel like that was more explicit. And then the anime does some explicit shit as well. But as far as Mikasa goes as a character and her development, I think that scene in the anime right before she kills Eren, where she's like, nah. And, well, first of all right, I'm jumping all over the place. I know I am. But first of all, Why the fuck? How the fuck she know Eren was in his mouth?
I'm still convinced he told her in that dream. I'm still convinced
so?
he was like, yeah, I'm chilling here, bro.
Because
I'm chilling
bro,
there.
like
come get
she
me.
dead doesn't know.
Come get me.
Don't nobody know where that nigga at. He gets up like, okay, so he's somewhere else within the head for sure. She wraps that scarf around. She says, "Air's in the mouth." Hey, y'all help me get there.
Hey, I'm convinced they lived that 4 years, bro. They did that 4 years there. They were happy at the end. He's like, yeah, come get me.
Yeah, I'm trying to go home, bro. I need my girl come pick me up. But
I'm done, bro. I'm finished.
But what I was going to say before I remembered that and had to say that is, I think that scene where Eren's scarf, Mikasa's eye, and the cut underneath her eye that Eren gave her in his first transformation, I think that shit is loud as fuck. That shit speaks volumes, dog. That's just beautiful shit.
Because for me that is like, you've done me harm and you've done all of these people harm, but you were also so much more than that. And it's just her theme, and a lot of Attack on Titan themes, like the world is a cruel place, but it's also beautiful.
Yeah.
Like I can see the beauty in the world, and that's what makes me not you. Like Eren was, as Eren said, like in Return to Shiganshina, he's like, I've got nothing but hate in me right now.
Yeah.
I can't see past what I am at this moment in time, like my dream and killing all the Titans and all of this stuff. But there is more to that in life, and that's true to life. And it's a message that I think the audience can take away from it, because that's why I just think that moment is so powerful and so good and misunderstood to a large extent, which is like, she's showing that love is a choice. It's not something, again, as I said, like it's not something that burdens you.
Yeah.
Because Ymir's love was one that did shackle her. It's something that chained her up. It was abuse. It was toxic. It was agony, as Eren says.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not what love should be.
Mm-hmm. And I think
love should not be a chainer. It should be a freedom.
And I think Mikasa, as this, through the first however long of Attack on Titan, she was kind of this awkward, unwarranted, unwanted love, sort of, just an image of that. But I think an image that always followed Mikasa in my watchings of the anime were flowers. And speaking on parallels between Ymir and Mikasa, one of my other favorite moments of Attack on Titan is right before Ymir jumps into the tree. She falls down.
And the blood with the flower.
And the blood and the flower. And I think that is Mikasa's theme. The world is a beautiful place, but it's a cruel place. And the flower having 9 petals, the blood. It was just something that was at the focus of, my curiosity for a while. But just the flowers being representative of the beauty in the cruel world, how they exist around the Titans are.
And growing up and being able to grow despite or because of their environment.
Yeah,
like obviously
wherever they at.
Flowers are chained to their environment, Yeah,
like concrete rose, but coming out of a Titan's dead body. Type shit.
That's I think you could talk about that forever as well. Like why Titans basically act as like fertilizer.
Yeah. That is dead funny.
That's crazy.
Niggas is walls.
Niggas everything,
bro.
Hey,
very resourceful.
Yo, another funny. Just real quick, bro. I was wanting to say this. I forgot to text this to y'all because I was wanting to say this today because I wanted to see if this shit made anybody laugh as hard as this shit made me laugh. Boy, Onyo Capone crashes that fucking plane, right? They take that nigga body out of there. Yo, is he alive? Yo, I think he from Paradis.
Oh, you talking about?
Eddie Dad said, "Hey, move. Hey, do you know my daughter? Hey, wake up, nigga. You know my daughter." Yo, that shit was so fucking funny. And I think Isayama's comedy is slept on. This is the funniest nigga. Why would you have him do that, bro? In that fucking moment? This nigga knocked out.
I think, bro, he's still unconscious, bro.
Yes, bro. Like he's knocked out. He said, "Yo, he about to slap him with his cane type shit."
Where's Annie?
Yo, you know Annie? That's my daughter, nigga. Yo, is she good?
That shit was funny.
But it's funny because he never doubts that she's good. He like, where is she?
I think another funny moment. I mean, this is just a sidetrack moment, but just the scene with Armin, where like, hey, so this is I was watching the final episode with my girl, and
did him dirty. Nah, they did
And
him
then
dirty. I was like,
you remember when what was it, the Okapi?
Yeah, Okapi.
Okapi put that shit in Armin's mouth, and then my girl was sitting beside me. She was like, "Yo, Armin deep throated in that."
Because when they come back on that other scene, like when he comes back and like he realizes he's not hurt. Boy, that shit is. I'm not even going.
Yo, yeah.
I can't even speak on it.
That shit was dope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I was like, damn. Like, Armin was really throwing that motherfucker, boy.
I was like, "Hey, yo."
Yo, that nigga was really throwing that bitch, son. That shit was crazy. I'm talking about, I mean, real shit, I don't even know how that nigga thinking. That nigga should have been passed out.
damn, no oxygen. No
And Mikasa came and cut that nigga freak ass tongue out.
Yo. That's another thing. I know you mentioned this before, Taj. The randomness of that, because I had to look up what a Okapi was. I didn't even like.
I feel like it kind of has a purpose to show just that they're trapped in the walls. They would have no reason to know what the fuck that is because it doesn't exist inside the walls. And he's from outside the walls.
That was funny in the anime as well.
Yeah, but that shit is just funny.
That was funny in the
She's
anime.
like, what type of the nine? What type of the nine is it, nigga? What type?
Like,
Maybe
what?
the jaw, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe a beast. I don't. The Okapi?
The fuck is an Okapi?
It's funny. It's funny because I was watching the episode. I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is that, bro?" Like, I never.
What is that though?
It's
like isn't it in the bull family or something?
Nah, giraffe family.
Giraffe
it's
family.
the closest thing genetically to a giraffe. It's a really interesting.
Oh, these things are ugly, bro.
Yo, chill. They kind of fly.
Oh,
They kind of fuck with them. They're like a pygmy giraffe kind of thing, man. I fuck with it. No, you can't go to a full grown one. Like, look at a baby one.
They
baby
hideous.
ones is cute.
Anything that's a baby is cute though, bro.
Not always, gang. I don't.
this shit is disturbing, bro.
This one got ass though.
These things are disturbing.
Ain't that nigga? Is that what Chris Rock played in fucking Madagascar?
No, that's a zebra.
I know it's a zebra, but that's what it looked like.
Nah, they're like a zebra hyena.
No, I
With
seen
hooves.
that.
No,
Bro, this is
Yo,
it's kind of crazy.
that
like,
shit like number 2 or 3 on.
yeah, that shit kind of
Yeah,
hideous.
everybody had
really?
to say, yo, like, why Annie know that shit? But real shit though, we live in a for real world where that shit really exists. Nigga, I didn't know what an Okapi was before Attack on Titan. That's the funniest shit to ever.
It's probably in Australia too.
Oh, they got.
Australia got everything.
They got it out there.
Hey, random shit though. Y'all know how the U.S. is big as fuck, right?
Yeah,
Did y'all know that Australia is the same size as the U.S.?
not until the other day.
Really?
Oh yeah, I told you that
Yeah,
shit.
I
Yeah,
was like, what
bro,
the heck?
if you overlay a map of Australia over the U.S., that shit takes up the. I'm thinking it's a little ass. You know, I mean, I understood it was a continent, but I thought that was on some like, you know, like on some
1960.
like they cool type shit. You know how niggas be like letting you be part of their team, like,
Yeah.
oh, that nigga cool, like he with
Yeah,
us. Like
yeah.
I just thought they was gonna let that nigga be a continent, but no, that shit is actually big as fuck. But
Yeah.
that's it as far as Okapis go.
No, they are ugly though. I'm looking at
Yo,
oh my god, yo, look at
They
this
are.
little horn shit. Like this
Yes,
shit not
bro,
even a real
bro.
horn.
But
It's
giraffes are cute.
yeah.
It's like giraffes are cute.
See that shit? I think that shit colorist.
You ever seen? Oh my god.
Yeah. No, all that. No, an Okapi is a dark skinned giraffe, and now niggas want to hate on a giraffe. all
This
of
look like a
sudden.
zebra and a giraffe decided to do the fusion dance, and then they got this ugly.
Nah, that's how Donkey was with that dragon.
Oh,
Hey, shit.
And Donkey was like, I seen a meme. It was like, nigga, I killed the dragon. Me? I killed 3 dragons. They put Donkey in that bitch. It was like, me?
I slayed
Nigga,
I slayed one.
Slayed you, the dragon,
He
boy.
said, I slayed one for red.
Hey, so I did have one question, and then I think Nick had a question. My thing was Isayama. He's I know you mentioned this in the video as well. Like Isayama's use of I think it's called numerology. Numerology.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something.
And
I do with that
especially
shit too.
especially going back to the number 13. I want to know if there's any specific thing that you can at least that was one of your favorite like uses of Isayama actually doing that, because I think we can all say this, like I think Isayama, man, like the way he thinks, because at least my way, like I really think like was I think a lot of the stuff Isayama does is intentional, but at the same time, do you think some of it is like he kind of like puts it out there and he'll connect it a little bit
And
later.
we are the ones who.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I think it's an interesting conversation. I think it's like we'll never know the true extent of it. I think certain things like obvious that he had planned. I think like the way the story turned out, I think is very obviously in his mind. In terms of as in Eren being the one dying, just in him having that arc to become the quote unquote villain. I think those are things that he 100% knew and set up from the start. I think a lot of things, of course, I think he's talked about it as well. Like Marley, for example, he never expected Reiner to be as big as a character as he did. Mm-hmm. And that's something that evolved organically.
And that shit kind of be pissing me off.
I think that happened like a couple of times.
I think Reiner is the most, as far as the cast goes, I think Reiner is the most underrated. Like, I don't see him in conversations the way I would expect to, because I mean he's literally, like even in his Titan form, he's the armored Titan. Eren is the attack Titan. You got a shield and a spear. Like in every sort of way they operate, I feel like they're opposites. And then if you think about Eren's fights within the series, it was always with that whole ass nigga.
Yeah,
like, he was always fighting Reiner. So I feel like Reiner is a major player. And then, I don't know. What made me read the manga was the end of season 4, part 1, when Reiner was looking down and Eren was looking up.
Yeah,
I said, I wait till when? Fuck that. Nah, I need to see this. I need to see them duke it out, because they be having legendary battles, boy.
Nah, them fights be lit though.
So I mean, I feel like Reiner is a major player that gets discounted.
Yeah, I have a weirder thing. Like, I don't know if it's because of how much discourse I've had around Attack on Titan. It's like I've seen in the circles that I am, Reiner super high rated, and like Gabby super highly rated. Because this is just the communities I've been in. People who are super into the whole discourse thing.
Yeah.
So like I didn't like them purely because I didn't not dislike them, but I didn't think they were as good as those people said. But I also think they're much better than what people in the general community think.
Yeah.
So I'm like in this mixed zone where like I think they're good, but I think like Reiner is like he's very good, but he's like this very linear, explicit character, which doesn't make any of it bad. It's just not tailored to my taste, for example.
I mean, there's a lot of,
and I think he got a lot of hype.
Like, I think the funniest shit is having him fight life itself. Like, that nigga ain't been fighting life his whole life. I said life.
Hey, I saw that as well. I didn't even think of that.
I mean, yeah, my boy jumped down and grabbed life by the horns. He was like, "You not finna see Eren."
That shit was crazy.
No, but I'll say
I saw it on TikTok. I was like, "Oh shit."
Now, especially the stuff with Reiner, I think that's interesting. I mean, me personally, I don't necessarily like Gabby. Obviously for what she did for Sasha, but I know like the more that you kind of get into the story, it's funny how I kind of look at both of those characters. Like I can like almost kind of go back to like nostalgia of how much I hated Reiner when you find out what he did, and then even Gabby. But as the story kind of progresses and you kind of get into like this, it's like this weird area where like everyone is wrong. And
nobody's good.
Yeah,
Nobody's innocent.
Everyone's done some fuck shit.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone.
Armin has killed a lot of babies. Bro.
Facts.
Armin knows it. Armin just be like, yeah, man, that's me type shit. But I think with Gabby,
like, I'm a monster, bro. Like,
yeah. And it doesn't, like, I think for me, like, kind of having, and this is gonna sound bad, like, kind of seeing how fucked up everyone is, like, it kind of like levels the playing field for like how I should see the story or how I should see these characters going forward.
I feel like that's Marley arc, where it kind of just subverts your whole view of the story. And you got Tiber's speech. You're like, yeah, Eren really is. You're a dickhead. You're like, that nigga a threat.
You're like, Eren is a problem, bro.
Like, yo, he's a threat, bro.
Problem.
And it's also funny, like, especially Reiner. I know we had an episode where we were talking about it, like,
he need to be locked up.
He need to be in a he need to be in a ward, like, cause, like, I mean. Especially like, what is it? Is it the,
what happened to Marco?
But is that what's it called? Dissociative personality disorder.
Oh yeah.
Like basically he has like these two.
Bro, he was tripping, bro.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, we gonna kill this man, and then he forgot. Oh shit. Yeah. He was like, bro. Oh, it was him, Annie. And bro.
And I think for me, After you do that shit the first time, anytime you read or watch the series, you just look at Burt whole face like, bro, this nigga can't stand right.
He be mad as hell, bro.
He in the back of every scene like,
damn. He about to sneak that nigga.
And you know what? You know when somebody pull out with their pants up, like
you know he about to go
that Russell Westbrook behind.
Yo.
But yeah, but yeah, I think is there anything else that I wanted?
I wanted to say something on that.
Okay.
So with Gabby, like, I don't think she's bad or anything, but she irritates the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
And it's not because of her character. It's because of the way Isayama makes her a player. Like, the fuck? Like, bro,
but
like, I want him to sit her down. Like, why the fuck is she able... Armin come out. She knocked the old copy, boy.
Yeah.
Why the fuck she shoot Aaron head off?
Bro,
like she shouldn't have been. Bro, she been. She been too fucking deep in A-Lab. Bro, you want a moving bird titan?
Bro, her tracking is OP.
You want a moving bird titan with a fucking rifle, and you talk about some tink.
Oh yeah, that shit did make me mad.
She's good at her job, G.
Yeah,
no, but the thing is, she's 13. She don't need to be that fucking good. Like, bro, goddamn.
No, because
she good at her job, bro.
I just hate it, bro. Like, bro, sit her down.
She's a soldier, bro. She was.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. I want Isayama to sit her little ass down.
You're not supposed to be able to do that.
Was that
how the fuck she get that?
Was
shit
that
on
her first
there
time with the rifle?
The rifle?
Yeah, where that shit come from?
That was her second time with a rifle.
Bro,
because she took it.
Remember when Pierre was like,
"Oh, she did take it."
Remember when it was when fuck what happened? She was with somebody and like they told her to stay, and she just grabbed the shit and ran.
Were you talking about the first time or the second time?
The first time. The first time
I'm talking about how she get that
okay,
junk
the
on
second
Falco.
time.
Yeah,
well,
that shit just came out.
Because the thing is,
second time,
real
that shit came out of nowhere.
Real shit though, like they was on a boat the whole time. So why the fuck did she have that motherfucker?
Bro, they were. He jumped off the boat. He launched off the boat, right?
Yeah.
Destroyed that
and
shit.
she said, I'm going to keep this motherfucker.
She was like...
She said, hey, I'm going to bring my gun.
Keep that shit up.
I ain't going over without my shit. She said, get you... Hey, what MK Slack said? He said, that tiny ass... Nigga, get you a stick, boy. Get you a stick. Bro, she ride with that fucking stick.
Like, but, bro, I want to know how she got, like... I mean, obviously, I know you said the AMAP shit. Like, I want to know how she got nice with that shit, though. Like,
I mean, she was raised to be a soldier.
No, but then... I don't know.
She was Falco ass like untrained.
I mean, but she was gonna
like
inherit.
the
She was like they were soldiers built up to inherit.
But I don't
type
think,
shit.
Did they
Type
train?
shit though? She might have been the #1 prospect of all time.
No facts,
nigga. If
Nah,
she,
I think she
bro.
was.
You saw how they treated her, nigga. They was treating her like Braun out of high school, nigga.
I'm telling you, boy. Like she was finna get drafted at 18 to the Cavaliers and build a legacy.
Yo, so then somebody was like, damn, like
referring to Gabby as LeBron is such a devious similarity. Y'all get the fuck out of here, bro.
Nah, bro, but that Gabby shit really be like, I fuck with her, but the thing is the parts
my
that
homies hate Gabby. What you talking about?
I fuck with Gab. I ain't gonna lie.
she redeemed herself for me, bro. I
fuck with Gab. Like, nigga, she got that claim still on Bennett, one man army type.
No, I ain't gonna lie. She nice though. She nice.
Her stock went up, but
Bro.
I still don't fuck with her.
Yeah,
what you talking about?
Well, I'm a Mojito nigga, so you know I fuck with the bad guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My faves, my faves is not really.
No, Gabby for me is too nice not to fuck with.
Really?
She's too cold with it, bro.
She's raw, bro.
She's too
like in the midst of all this chaos, she said, "I'm gonna lay down and go prone and shoot Aaron's fucking head off." Like
she was way.
Nigga
she
said,
was
"Yo, that's
packing.
way too powerful for you. Put that shit down,
bro."
She said,
"But it's the fact that she can do the like. I mean, I just feel like when you think about the cast, when you think about everything written in this thing, I would rather have a random ass soldier snipe Aaron from the wall or some shit than Gabby lay down and be the one to take his head off. Like because I feel like the most important thing to ask in literature is why. And every time I ask why about Gabby, I don't get no fucking answers. Why do we got Gabby shooting Aaron head, bro?
I would say this, and I do want to get your perspective on this as well, Sash. The fact that a lot of people like to compare like Aaron and Gabby are two sides of the same coin.
I mean, she tied her hair up in that mirror.
No, but in my opinion, I kind of disagree because I mean, obviously, looking at the series, our perspective is from the Eldian side, like how they're like trapped within the wall, and then their perspective of kind of coming out and being like, oh shit, like this isn't like everything within the wall isn't just the world. It's basically our world, but like there's more outside of it. But I think the thing about it is I think Gabby, I mean, in a lot of her actions and the way she kind of goes about things, I mean, maybe I might be tripping. I don't see them on the same kind of level as far as like how they thought. I mean, I know both of them are kind of reactionary when it comes to a lot of things, but I would like what is your
that cold, nigga?
Yeah. What is your perspective on that?
So for me, I think people get a little bit confused on this as well in terms of like I think there is a very clear and obvious parallel that Isayama is trying to make between them, but people say it's like we're gonna kill everyone, and that's like the crux of it. But they get about there from two different ways. So people to argue against the parallel, they'll bring up how Eren never believed in his government, in what his government said, and Gabby always did. Like they're not the same. But it's very much Eren is a product of that book with Armin. Like his perspective is because of that book, and the actions he takes are for that, and the dream that he got out of that. Hers is the same thing, but just with the propaganda that she got given. So her version of the book is the propaganda she was fed as a kid, and has always been fed.
Yeah.
So she didn't have the book of Eren; she had the propaganda, and so how they react to those stimuli are very similar. In terms of I'm going to kill everyone, I'm going to free my people, I'm going to free myself. We're going to get out of these walls. They even use like the same language. So that's where the parallel is, but it's two different stimuli for them.
Oh man, okay, that's interesting. I guess my thing with Gabby is just like the fact that obviously I feel like you are something. She's not necessarily leaning into that as much, but I do kind of understand like the propaganda of how she sees the world in a little bit different light than Eren does, especially like based on the environment that they got raised in. But I'm trying to think. That also kind of comes to another point, and then sorry, Nick, you can go ahead and answer the question. I want to like there's this, and this is maybe this is just me, but there's just like this sense of revenge throughout the entirety of Attack on Titan that that really kind of I think that was the thing that really kind of drew me like really heavy into the series, especially like everything kind of coming to a head, at I think the beginning of season 4 where we actually get we were like all of this has been built up to get to this very moment. But I guess my thing is that has that been a factor for you when you were actually doing your read through of Attack on Titan? Was that something that really kind of drew you more into the series, or how do you feel about that? Because it doesn't necessarily stick at the end when you kind of understand like everyone has their own motives, their own goals. Morally, everything is kind of put into a weird kind of area because a gray area because like. Am I too fucked up for doing this, or am I this way or that way? I want to kind of get your perspective. Was the revenge aspect of the series something that really kind of drew you to the series? And if not, then what?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was more for me the mystery.
Okay.
I think it was probably that for a lot of people as well. It was like the mystery, like what is in the basement, like what is, like every single time you got like a little answer in the first 3 seasons, you got like 10 more questions, and like that always just kept me super invested. Like, I must have binged the first 3 series like when I caught up in like 3 or 4 days. Like I inhaled that shit because like I needed to know.
I feel that, bro.
I needed to know, and I think that's why. I also think that's why some people get turned off by season 4, because like the mystery box switches instead of like what's in the basement to like what's Eren thinking.
Yeah,
and that might not be as interesting for a lot of people, and it's more character driven. It's more politics involved and all of that stuff. But for me, that was what drew me in the mystery, and then I really liked the characters, and I fell in love with how the world worked and how it interacted, and like the themes and things like that.
Okay.
Well, not at the time. At the time, I just thought it was fucking lit. Now I think that.
I think like how we was talking about how it was mid to us earlier. I feel like the revenge was why that shit was mid to me when we first started Attack on Titan, because I feel like so many series.
It's cliche.
So many series touch on revenge.
Yeah.
Everybody asked that question, and like I've seen enough answers to revenge to know, oh, that shit isn't satisfying. Everybody comes to that conclusion. That's the message they want to leave. So for me,
Hey, low key, by the way, Taj, you're gonna hate me for this.
What?
if I can jump in real quick there.
Go ahead.
That's why I don't fuck with Mahito as much as other people.
Because
I've
of
seen the
revenge?
whole I'm you thing.
Oh yeah.
No,
But
not
it's
revenge
not-
specifically,
okay.
because I've seen the whole justice talk, like, oh,
He's team anime.
we're not,
See,
like,
but no,
justice
team anime
is
take.
subjective.
See, now, and you're gonna find me strange.
But I
for
love
this.
Mahito though.
You're gonna find me strange for this, but that's not.
Take that dap.
Nah. That's a team anime take. I
No,
like
that
that.
shit
I
was
like
whack
it.
as fuck. But listen, I feel like that piece of Mahito isn't even a factor in why I like him. His shit comes from the same.
Nah, I get
reason-
that as well. I think he's fucking
I watched
hilarious.
that episode.
It's how. Nah, I ain't watching. Damn, nigga, can I talk?
Yeah.
Man? Like, yeah, niggas-
I was just thinking about it.
He definitely watched it though. So
I didn't watch it type shit,
you've been loving JJK though.
but I have not watched the episode. Yo, let me say my point, nigga. So anyway, I like him the same reason I like Kojiro. Like these is and it's a wild shit. But to me, these are people that are free. Like it's like I guess the way I've seen it articulated the best is Thorkel from Vinland Saga. They say he does whatever he wants and nobody hates him. You know what I'm saying? Now I guess people hate Mahito, but
That's
like
me.
they kind of just like
See,
they
but-
do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, oh yeah, this nigga nice.
The freedom thing is me and Sukuna and JJK though. That's why I fuck with Sukuna more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Mahito had that whole Yuji thing that Sukuna done.
Sakuna.
Big
I
goat.
fuck with Sukuna. I fuck with that guy.
Yeah,
He's
dog.
fucking hilarious as well.
Hey, you know how I feel about that gang. You know how I feel about that.
Shit.
Yeah, but what I was saying about the revenge thing. Oh, I was saying the thing that actually made me finish Attack on Titan was kind of the begging questions of like mystery. Like I think it was the end of season 1 after the credits after Annie pulls that.
The Titan in the wall.
Yeah, boy, you like, why the fuck is that nigga in the wall?
yeah.
You like, past the nigga, why you
Bro,
know about this?
And then it was like 2 or 3 years
But-
with the wait.
Yeah, bro, no, it was 4 years, wasn't it?
Yeah,
it
for
was
the second
Season 1 to
2016,
season
yeah.
2, bro, it was 4
2016.
fucking years. We over here like, bruh.
But I would say this. I think my thing that kind of drew me into
and one more thing, just real quick. I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hey, wait.
But I feel like
Flag on the plate.
I feel like
Shit, nigga, I can mute everybody.
for whatever reason, bro. A bigger piece for me was like we only thought there was one colossal titan, so that was the bigger question.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
is the wall a whole bunch of them? Is
Yeah.
it that same nigga? Like what's going
Why
on?
does he look that way? Like,
So-
yeah.
But like, why are they there?
And Pastor Nick said, "Put that towel over his eye."
I did want to and I guess my thing and then you know, I'll leave it at this. Like I know you said like, you know, revenge can be somewhat of a cliche, but I wouldn't say that. I think depending on whatever medium it is or like whatever story is kind of like handling it. Like for example, like the Berserk like manga. Like that's something I'm interested in. And it may not the way that it may be handled, it may not necessarily be something that we've seen before. I think that's
I was about to say that nigga
he's
not
not
reading.
interested.
That nigga
He's not that
reading for
interested.
real.
it's
not reading
That nigga not reading that shit for real.
Look at these guys. But basically, I do think that Attack on Titan, especially the way they did handle a lot of it, it kind of wrapped up everything kind of nicely because you know morally within the series no one is an innocent person. Like no one doesn't have a little bit of blood on their hands. I would say in this series, and that's one of the things where I'm appreciative of the revenge story, but I think the mystery and then like I think season 4 itself kind of get into the
Gray areas.
I would
I
say
think going off of what you said with like cliches and tropes, I think it's that like cliches and tropes aren't bad in and of themselves. Like everything is a cliche or a trope at this point. It's just how they're handled and how they're executed that makes them good in art or in a story or whatever.
Because you can ask a great question, and man, I think that whole, like, that's my, I guess, favorite character archetype. The ones who are fully conscious of the decisions they're making and the consequences of it, and they're resolute within it anyway. And, you know, you can put them in any situation, and I'm going to be like, whoa, let me see what this is about. But if that answer is uninteresting, then obviously I'm not gonna like it.
a great character would be Tenma.
Nah, I don't really fuck with Timber.
Tenma definitely was able to
You
stand
talking
up.
about like the doctor?
Yeah, the doctor. Yeah. The Japanese doctor. You know.
Nah.
Have you read
respect
Have you
Tenma,
read
bro,
Monster?
please.
Sash. Have you read?
I really like it. I've read and watched it.
Oh, okay. What do you think?
I've got all the copies, I think.
Oh, bet.
I really like it.
He can't.
My guy.
Yeah,
Hey, that's why I fuck with you, man.
And when you think about Monster, you think about Tim or you think about Johan Liebert?
Nah, you think about Timber too?
Johan. But I like Timber more than I like Timber a lot more than I think you do.
Yeah, nah.
But yeah, Johan's the best for me.
Okay, but
Johan's one of the best antagonists
ever
for me. He's great.
Nah, that boy
Yeah,
cold.
I
Let's go,
really
Johan.
like him.
yeah, we trying to
I really
get.
like how Monster's constructed.
Yeah, we're only 2 for 4 for people who finish Monster, but we go try to get everyone.
Don't throw those shades, nigga, because you was talking about Vagabond earlier. You ain't finished in 3 years.
No. I at least got halfway in.
Yo, bro, you got half. How do you stop Vagabond halfway?
What did I miss?
Cause my iPad broke, so you know. But continuing on, I know you had a question. I know you had a question, Nick.
I think he was asking what he missed. I said we was talking about Monster, and Nick.
Yeah, yeah, but it's only one nigga here that ain't finished Vagabond. You talking about 2? It's only one.
Hey, relax, bro. I got my iPad. I got my little Android now.
I really believe him though. He still ain't read the final shit though. He still ain't read the final exhibition.
Oh damn. Frauds.
Hey, Sekiro game.
37
Sekiro
volumes,
game.
Time out. You need to thank me for being able to play Sekiro.
Oh yeah, you did. You put me on game. You put me on
I was
game.
about to say.
Why he
I don't
thinking
really
you?
Because didn't I talk to you?
He told me about the game share.
I'm about to say. No. I'm saying like the
Phil
PC.
Phil said.
I talked to you. I'm talking about to get it to him.
Phil said. I don't think nobody game sharing that shit but me, my boy.
No, but
You know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
But not anymore. Y'all good?
no, yeah.
Oh no, was the last?
go ahead.
Was the last question?
Oh no, I mean I was about to pop a last.
no,
I was
go
about
ahead,
to
go
pop
ahead.
a last question, not the last question. He already answered that question.
Oh yeah, baby.
We know what he team manga.
We can ask
no.
that question again.
talk about
But
that
not this.
question.
I'm gonna be real. This is probably about to be the most
I
simple.
thought we was talking about the. That's what you about to ask?
He about to ask some other shit.
I'm about to ask some other shit, and you guys that.
What the fuck this nigga talking about, man? Let's beat
This is like
nigga
the
Phil
most
ass.
Last point.
So
Yo, can we beat your ass? Like shit?
What's up, bro? I'm here.
I mean, how 28, right?
Bro, yeah. Oh,
Hey,
40?
actually, I got
That's what y'all meant?
I got your back, Phil. I got your back.
Oh, let's go.
you
fuck
old too,
you.
nigga. Ain't you the? Yeah, you old too.
Oh.
All right, but go ahead, bro.
Anyways,
bro, one of y'all, bro.
like I said, this is probably gonna be like one of those.
My ODM gears outside.
He said his ODM gears outside. Yo, what?
Mind y'all, it's like one tree outside. That nigga finna be running on 2 feet, bro. He not using no ODM gear.
better be a carousel. Go around.
Just get up and spin. I'm not worried about his
Just gonna look at
ODM
me like,
gear. Like, okay.
He about to run out of gas.
Exactly. That's my shit. Hey, when that nigga run out of that gas, shit over with, boy.
He gonna be hanging.
He ain't got that new shit with the Titan crystal. He got that old shit, boy.
I think this is a question I kind of run into from casuals more than like kind of like avid anime watchers or avid manga readers. So that's why I said this is probably gonna be one of your like simplest questions pertaining to this. And I run into this a lot, like I said, from casuals more so. But do you think for Aaron himself, the means, everything that he wanted to achieve, everything that took place and transpired, do you think the means like justified themselves within his reasoning? Or within his actions?
I think for him it does.
Yeah.
I think for him, sure. For me, that brother
mean,
was messed up.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because obviously, like, you always gonna run into the 80% of population thing, right? Like, you're always gonna run into that moral.
My boy said the 80% of population thing.
Not like that, though. You know what I meant? Like, I mean, pertaining to the story. All right, that was a little intrusive.
This is crazy.
All right, that's because, bro, like, when I tell you I've been fighting niggas about this, bro, because, like, obviously, like I said, I understand having, like, your own, like, you know, human moral code within it and trying to take the piece of fiction and applying it to the real world. Like, yeah, nigga, we all gonna sit and be like, nah, that's fucked. But I'm obviously for Aaron himself, like, I will argue that the means justify themselves for him but not in the grand scheme of life. Because nigga, who would want to do that?
Can I answer before he answers?
No, go ahead.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like.
I think.
Oh, let me go first, bro. Then you go, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go.
Right. So it's like, I resonate with the idea, you know, of like wanting to do the best and protect your loved ones, you know, and have their best interests at heart. And it's just like, but the way he went about that shit, I was like, damn, like that is really crazy. Like,
yeah,
but I would do that. Like, I think I would put I would put my family, I would put my family and my loved ones above the world.
I think it's a consistent thing.
Sense.
Mika says it. She says that shit to who? Annie? Mm-hmm. She's like, I'm sorry, bro. I can't give a fuck about your life.
Yeah. But my thing is like
Ymir, he says it. He says it to Ymir and Historia.
Oh, she says it. Oh, yeah, that's what she says it to.
I mean, I just look at it eyesight for empathy for anyone else. Yeah. Because and the only reason I say that is obviously applying to the real world, no, but like, nigga, if I'm trapped somewhere and I find out everything I've ever known is a lie, however I act is how I act from that point on, because it's like, this is what was given to me, so now I'm going to give you what I feel. You know?
I could see that. Like, you were kind of like trapped in a cage, or per se, and then once you get out of this cage, you find out it's a whole nother
it's a different ballgame
thing. So it's like,
and more so for Aaron is figuring out, nigga, y'all not no fucking different than these niggas that's in here. You feel me? So
I feel that.
Yeah, but you go ahead, Shash.
I think for me, in terms of this question, this might be the most controversial thing I've said on the whole pod, but I don't think Aaron, as in like Aaron's reasonings, are that relatable in the sense that such a big part of his thing is like the book and his whole freedom drive, which I don't think is something everyone shares. I think that's something specific to Aaron and that's part of his character. I think what is a lot more understandable in every sense would be Flock. I think Flock is a fantastic character and a fantastic example of what fear, a certain amount of selfishness, and trauma, how that can very quickly turn into like a proto-fascist mind state. I think he is a brilliant illustration of that, and I think he's more understandable than Eren, because Eren does have that somewhat, you can almost say it's supernatural, you can almost say it comes from like the god aspect of Eren, like his whole will for freedom and that overpowering drive, which isn't something everyone has. Like, that's not that relatable. That's quite a manga or an anime thing. Like, someone with so much drive, it goes back to previous Attack Titan holders. Like, that's a supernatural thing.
I'm just thinking about this nigga Aaron, bro. He
very,
mad
very. They really do, man, as well. And I just think, I think Flock is a lot more scared than angry.
Yeah.
And the fear turns into anger or turns into doing terrible things or justifying those things. But it is something that stems from fear. And I think fear is a much more universal emotion than what Eren has. So that would be my answer to that, I think.
I feel like
I don't justify it. I don't agree with it. I wouldn't feel the same, but I think that's the most understandable.
Yeah.
And I know we've had this conversation a few times, and I just want to kind of present my point of, I don't think it's justified, but I think it's warranted. And I think the manga illustrates that well.
Warranted.
I think it's warranted. Like, and it's depending on where is it Annie's dad? Somebody says, you know, we threw all of our hate onto that island. We thought even we could solve our problems with hate. And everything that
it was the general.
It was the general. Everything that we did bore that thing. So like, it was definitely a possibility. It was definitely something that could have happened. Yeah. And it was like, we just hope this shit doesn't.
Yeah.
But so I mean, and it shouldn't have. If it was anybody but Eren, it probably wouldn't have. You know, but like,
it's Eren.
It's Eren.
It was the worst possible scenario, I guess.
Yeah, like when Reiner said, "Damn, he got the coordinate."
Oh, fuck.
That is the worst person.
He said, "Eren, you are the last person."
I think this like kind of like going back and like kind of hearing a lot of this stuff, like it makes me want to rewatch. I've seen Attack on Titan, like the anime. I think
I'm on 4.
I think 4. It'll be 5 if I watch it one more time. which is kind of crazy. Like I don't think I've watched the series. I've seen Monster like three times.
I'm on three.
4 straight through. I watched it with my girl. And I watched that shit in dub, nigga.
I watched them what's up. Yeah.
That shit was crazy, bro. That was the first time I ever watched the anime in dub whole way.
But I wanted to I did want to kind of say, and we know that this will be one of the last questions, and then if anything that you wanted to kind of put out there, we can go ahead and have that. Wanted to know, is there anything as far as like the ending of Attack on Titan goes, or anything within the series itself? Was there anything that you would like to add or change to the story personally for yourself?
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I think I talked about it one time on like Twitter, which is that I think that the scouts should have taken a photo in Mali, and Armin's "Let's tell them everything" at the end. I really like the bird, by the way. I really like the bird and the feather and what that does for the story. But I think having a photo of them as scouts in Mali, like with Eren as part of that, be in that scene somehow, would have been even better. Because I think it would like the biggest moment pre-time skip is when they go into the basement and they see this photo, and you have that whole line about how our humanity has not perished and all of this stuff, and it's like this big 1-page thing in the manga, like it's right in your face. And I think a nice way to tie into that whole thing would have been having a photo of them as scouts. That's probably the only thing I can really think of that I would have really liked to see.
Yeah, that shit would have been dope.
Yeah, I think. Oh man, I think that would have been really nice. Oh man, it's crazy like how far like the main cast has kind of come, especially, and that's why I guess like the boat scene where we kind of see everyone kind of made me a little bit like little sad. I did want to ask, do you think in a way, do you think that Reiner, do you think anyone should have died, or do you think anyone should have lived?
That's a crazy ass question. Like,
no. Well, because I feel like Def in a way.
Do you think that Reiner?
I forgot. I forgot what series it was. It's like Def. Nigga
talk about One Piece.
One Piece. No.
He's trying his hardest.
No, but hey, I say this to the end though. I say this. No, so I mean, in One Piece, obviously, like death is something that completes somebody. Well, basically, it completes somebody. I want to ask, in your perspective, do you think anyone should have died or should have stayed alive, personally?
All right, so onto the Reiner thing. I think Reiner, it was important for him to live, and I think it was important for Levi to live. I'm like mixed on this because I'm kind of part of the crowd that thinks that the Jean and Connie send-off was really good. Like the little conversation they had was quite hard-hitting.
Okay.
Oh, you said
and the impact of that is somewhat taken away. Yeah, and I think the impact of that is somewhat taken away. But at the same time, you can't have too many of Eren's friends die, or else like his whole thing about protecting his friends, which is already he sacrificed some of that because of Sasha and Hange. If also Jean and Connie die, then you're asking serious questions. Like, you're like, bro, really? So, like, I get it. I get why they did that.
So, like, you want
but I wouldn't have minded.
You want Connie and John dead type shit.
Yeah, and plus, if Gina died, I wouldn't have had to sit through all that fucking discourse about Mikasa, bro.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that
mind-numbing article.
That is something I did want to ask, and then I will kind of leave it at that.
I got one more thing, if y'all don't mind. I'm sorry. I know.
I was part of that crowd where I was like, that shit made me mad.
Yeah, I saw they had a baby. I said, what the fuck?
I was like, no way, Jean laying pipe to Mikasa.
Yo, y'all seen the meme where it was like, you know how he goes, Mikasa, let's kill everything. And they say he was out there like,
you see that? Did you see the one with the Death Note one? Did you see the Death Note meme?
No.
Where it's like light at Elle's grave, just laughing, and it was like Jean instead.
I seen like a fake Twitter thread, and it was Mikasa had tweeted, it was like, don't you hate it when you just can't get rid of a nigga and something like that? It was like, and it was like Jean was like laugh my ass off with fire emojis, and then they put Connie was like, we just gonna act like she not talking about you. Like,
nah, it's like you seen that Homelander meme, but he has like the serious face, and the body he's just smiling Like, yeah, you seen that one for the Attack on Titan?
The last one I seen today though, I think I sent in the chat and it was like Gene enjoying it. It was like Gene trying to enjoy his lunch. And
Hello,
it was
everyone.
a seagull come by and grab his sandwich.
I mean, you guys apologize for the audio error.
Oh, but you can go ahead and ask your question.
Episode.
It's not really a
We just
question.
had some
It's more so
technical
just something I
difficulties
wanna
that we
know.
ran into.
I've always just wanted, when we had this episode, something I
But
thought
just
was
bear
really
with
unique about
us
Attack on
as
Titan.
we do have an ending to this episode. Thank you.
But it gets better every time you
Understand more.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Like,
bro, you get more information about Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Like, bro, Redrick, when he talked about the fucking bells and the OST and the bells and the bellflowers and shit, I was like, oh yeah, okay, I'm done.
Crazy.
I'm done with this shit. I'm done with Attack on Titan.
So, okay. I'm gonna talk a little loud here because the camera's kind of across the room. The only issue will be we just won't have your reaction like sound wise on the pod for this version. But we still want to do this.
Oh, can we just switch it? Turn off Bluetooth.
Oh yeah, facts. I'm weak. Actually, I lied.
Yeah, I was about to say, just
I got
disconnect
it.
the shit.
Oh, I have a mouse. So you want to use it? That's cool.
Damn. Got a whole laptop in there.
Your shit still saying Hikari season? Or is that cap?
Nah, it is.
Nah, you read 243?
Talk about season X.
No.
Hands up.
Damn. Y'all niggas been having a great time today. I've been busy all day.
Bro, I be at home.
Black Friday, baby.
Actually,
I'm gonna just take my
I didn't
headphones
read
off.
them either, but I had to see them.
All right, Shaz, you can still hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
All right, yeah. So, why is everybody like when I need to do something? All right, my fault. Okay, so, all right, Benji was saying before we got cut off. I'm sorry, it's so much going on right now.
I got you.
Bring me back.
So I think that, as we discussed, we consider you to be the Attack on Titan, man. We really appreciate your input and your insight, but also we really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule, and with this crazy time difference, it being almost 1 o'clock in the morning where you at, taking the time to come and sit with us, share your knowledge, and share some fun and discussion with us. And we wanted to exemplify our appreciation, and I'll let Dom Blue take it from there.
Obviously, we want to present you with something, and we all chipped in and got you a gift. On behalf of Geek Giant, we would like to present you with the Attack on Titan Season 2 original soundtrack on vinyl by Hiroyuki Sawano.
Hey,
So,
you man are.
for the people at home,
Genuinely, that's insane.
for the people at home to see deluxe edition with all
That's crazy.
sides A through I.
Yeah, it's like
it's like-
it's like 6 shits in
Yeah,
here.
it's hella vinyls in there. So we just wanted to present that to you, man, and it'll be shipped to you very soon and on its way to your home, man. And
Bro, it's been my pleasure to be on the podcast anyway, man. Seriously.
Yeah, bro, we really.
we truly appreciate you. Like, we truly appreciate you. I know we've been talking about this and trying to get this episode done and just been waiting on Mappa.
Yeah.
So finally got it done, man. And once again, like we just said, man, we are nothing but appreciative and grateful that you took the time to kick it with us on this Friday evening for us and Saturday morning for you.
Yeah, it's it's OD late. My bad.
Yeah, it's at 2 a.m.
Oh, 2
Yeah, so with that being said, this is Geek Giant Podcast, and we are out.
Peace.
Thank you guys.